wait and see if he accepts it.
That's Kai running the Moonly account, right?
This is me indeed. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm just making sure that everyone's up here. Oh, we got him. Drax is up here. Nice.
GM.
GM. I think we're ready to go.
Good morning.
So, again, hello everyone, and welcome to this Moonly Spaces. We'll be speaking to a bunch of true builders. Just real quick, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Kai. I'm one of the team members at Moonly and their designated Twitter Spaces host. So feel free to drop me a follow. My main account is co-hosting, and I'd appreciate the follows. Also, make sure that you're following Moonly across their social media platforms. And their Twitter is @MoonlyNFT, and their Discord you can find that on their Twitter page. And go and visit our analytics and NFT search website. You can use it for free at moon.ly. Pretty sure this Spaces is being recorded,
hello
and
guys.
hopefully today
I'm
Uncle
glad
Elon
to
doesn't
see
decide to
all of
rug
these
us this
builders
time. But
in
the
the
history
one
isn't so
place.
good, so let's wait and see.
As I said, I just woke up,
And
super
with me here
tired, super
is
sleepy.
the
I just need
founder of
to
Moonly himself,
wake
Hinder.
up
How
my
you doing,
brain.
dude?
So
I know you're tired.
hopefully it's not gonna rag me.
Yeah, hello
these
guys.
places.
I'm glad to see all of these builders in the one place.
Yeah, it was a
As I said, I just
long
woke up,
night
super
and the
tired,
morning.
super
A
sleepy. I
lot of
just need
calls,
to
uh,
wake up my brain. So
brainstorming.
hopefully it's
But
not gonna rag me
yeah, you need to
in
do
these
what you need to
places.
do.
Yeah, you're working hard as usual, which is why you're tired, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a long night
Yeah,
and the
definitely.
morning. A lot of calls and brainstorming. But yeah, you need to do what you need to do.
Definitely. But thanks for making it out today and joining me. I'm sure you'll have a few questions for these projects as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, we've got a lot of things coming for Moonly, and it includes the first year anniversary, which is actually this month. But we ain't here to talk about that today. We'll get into that another time. Right now, we've got all our speakers up, and now I think it's time for us to get acquainted with our speakers. So, if you don't mind, if you haven't done it already, guys, retweet the space, help us grow as a group. Hang on. There we go. I think I just got a call, sorry. And if you do want to come up, don't be shy. Come and speak to us. I'm in a good mood today, so as long as we don't get rugged, I'll remain in a good mood. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so let's get a quick introduction from our guests who are going to come up and speak. Let's see who's here. Let's see. The Hive NFT app. How are you doing? Who's behind the account today?
How are you, Mr. Shifu? My name is Robert. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming up. I look forward to getting more information about your project and what you've got going on back there.
Perfect. You want to go through all the projects first? Let everyone say hi. Then you'll choose somebody.
Yeah.
Start
We're
going?
just going to
Perfect.
introduce. Yep, we're going to introduce
Perfect.
people, and then we're going to bring everyone up afterwards.
Perfect. All right, guys.
All right, let's see. Who's next? I'll just pick someone at random. Don't be scared, guys. Don't be scared. Bunny Soul, who's behind the account today. What's up? Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man. How are you?
Amazing. Good. So yeah, this is Eunuch from our builders group, and I'm repping our project, Bunnies. It's an IP project, and we're gonna be launching next week. Thanks for having us.
Lovely. It's great to have you here. I know you've got a lot going on, and I'm interested to dig a little deeper today. So
For sure,
next.
man. I wish you'd be happy.
Lovely. I hope so. Next is going to be Amorphos, who's behind the account. How are you?
Yo, it's Herb here today. I got the Herb on Twitter. Just gonna be kind of here talking about Morphos. We just launched socials last week, so it'll be the first time anyone hears what we're doing. So that'll be fun.
Nice. Some real alpha. Cool. I'm very interested to learn more about what you guys have got going on over there. So thanks for coming. And now, Obes, I know you're the one. So how are you, bro? How you doing?
Hey Kai, I'm Obes. I'm the founder of Vola Labs. Thanks for having me up. Good to see you again.
Thanks for coming, my friend. I know we've done a few spaces in the past, and I know just how hard you work. So I'm looking forward to getting more into Vula today. Nice. We've got
That's how I
Dexter
will
Lab
say
Data. So,
unisex.
yep. Who's behind the account? Is it
Unisex.
Uniax?
Yeah, I
Is
have
that how
it.
you say?
Yeah,
Is that how you say that?
Unix is like from operating system Unix, so it's
Unix.
a bit of my local language addition content.
Cool.
That's how I
How
would
are
say
you?
unisex. Unisex.
Yeah,
Unisex.
yeah. That
Unisex.
is also like I got a lot of that in spaces. So unisex. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one is better.
Nice. So yeah, I did a little digging in research into your project. So I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit about what's going on with you guys. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And next we have Drax from Famous Fox. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah,
Good.
GMGM co-founder, Famous Foxes. Hopefully folks are familiar. But yeah, excited to chat more with you guys today.
Yeah, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate you coming. And we really want to get into what Famous Fox is cooking. I've been a fan of Famous Foxes for a long time. I just wish I could afford one.
Welcome, mate.
We have
Welcome. One of my
transdimensional
favorite
foxes.
projects of
They're a
Famous
little bit
Fox.
of
I
a cheaper
was
entry, but
saying
yeah,
that to everyone. So I'm really
it's been
glad
an
that you're here.
interesting past year and some change, if I'm honest, from a price action standpoint on foxes.
Nice. We'll get into a little bit more of your project in a while.
Welcome, mate.
And
Welcome. One of my favorite projects are Famous Fox. I always was saying that to everyone. So I'm really glad that you're here.
me too.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we've got Orderflow OG or Neopup or yep, it's Neopup, isn't it?
Good morning. It's Pups from Atadia. Thank you guys for having me. We have a lot of interesting developments over at Atadia, and I'm excited to share and excited to see what you guys are building over at Moonly and everyone else on the panel.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone coming today, all of our speakers and our guests. Guys, give us some hearts and some emojis in the chat if you're on mobile. Really appreciate it. Just before the spaces starts, I'm going to go into the format and give everyone a little bit of a rundown of the structure of what we're going to do here today. It's quite straightforward. So I'm going to pick a random project to come up and have a little chat with me. It should take roughly 10 to 15 minutes per project, but there is an overlap as well. So if we do run over, we'll make sure that we give extra time for everyone to come up and speak and have their piece. Because we're here about to share everyone's word. We want everyone to get their word out. And I'll be guiding the conversations with a couple of questions
Not
that I've
particularly. I
formulated,
said
moving around,
that I'm
and doing some
excited
research into your
to
project.
listen everyone
And
in
then,
space.
if no one's
So
got any
let's
more questions, I'll
keep
open it up
going.
to questions from the audience before moving on to the next project. Stefan, is there anything you'd like to add?
Not particularly, except that I'm excited to listen everyone in the space. So let's keep going.
Me too, me too. Okay, sounds good. So, without further ado, let's get into our first project, which is going to be Unisax of Dexter Lab Data. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Lovely, lovely. So just to preface this, I know that we all came to Web3 for various reasons and from wildly different walks of life. And I think that's what makes the space itself so great, is the sheer diversity of our experiences. So give us some background on yourself, how you came to find yourself involved in Web3, and what your project aims to bring to the space.
Yeah, so probably working like in, let's say, IT industry or creating my own projects for the last 20 years. So it's variety from projects from dating sites to business Shopify plugins and other but everything which was related with programming and what I can do with computer basically. And in Web3s, like we started with Dexter Lab probably one year ago. We started more similar as Moonly, like wanted to go that direction as analytical tools. But we wanted to go like not for specific like NFT collections and other stuff, but like going deeper, like chain analysis to wallets history, like tracking related wallets and so on. And we find out that it's really hard to get that data currently from current RPCs. And current data providers doesn't provide like very fast abilities to backfill your data from historical data. So we went and in the last 6 months we rewrote Solana RPC and kind of not like rewrote, we forked it and added additional changes, which really like supercharges the RPC calls, especially archival ones. I probably went not from my personal to project already, but yeah.
No problem, no problem. That sounds good. Thanks for giving us a quick rundown of what it is you're doing over there.
Yeah, so it's short intro.
Yeah, no problem at all. So I'm going to just have a couple of questions for you. I'm not someone who's very familiar with back-end processes and the associated technological jargon, but I did a little digging into your research and I like what I've seen so far. But can you summarize your database features?
Sorry, can you repeat the last few words?
Your database features? Can you summarize your database features for us in simple terms? So give us an indication of some of their direct use cases.
Yeah. So like what we solved currently. So Solana, if you want to run Solana full archives, you need Google Bigtable, because this is only like one like method which is supported by Solana Validator natively. But that costs a lot. Like if you're not using that database a lot, it costs like 50K a month. If you want to go through those data sets like constantly, as we do like every day at 20-30 gigabits per second, so it going like really fast to 40-50K, and it's not sustainable to build any analytics like deep wallet analytics, which requires scanning same wallets many times and improving our algorithms. So we moved from Google Bigtable. We are now hosting that in our infrastructure, and it's still in binary. It still doesn't break the data. We still not like offload the data in JSON or store in some MySQL and so databases. So it's like it still complies by all standards. We just replaced Google Bigtable with a database called Hashbase. It's basically like if you're looking like underneath, it's like almost the same database because it rose like from the same project, but the difference that we can host that and we don't have any limitations on traffic and rescanning and backfilling that data. So currently we have like 5 million per second transactions rescan speed, and we kind of satisfied with that because we can rescan all Solana multiple times a day. And that gives us abilities to build those data sets and features that nobody probably have a reach, or if they have a reach, it's very, very expensive. And we kind of giving that back to community. We are planning to release everything as open source probably by the end of the year. We're a bit hesitating on that because competition is fierce, so we need to build a bit of advantages before giving everything for free. But the goal is that Solana should have like alternative way to host archival data, and that way should be cheap way.
That's sorry for jumping in, Kai.
No, go for it.
That's a really tough task. I know because we were doing the same, and I think at some point that we kind of figured out that it's a very expensive, as you said, to run the Google Bigtable, and that we find kind of alternative to that. So I'm wondering, you're running RPC. How many nodes? How many machines are you running on?
Yeah, so this is the fun part, because we forked validator, and we have a proxy which splits RPC transactions. So based on type of transaction, for example, if you want to get historical transaction, we're running currently 200 RPC nodes. Each RPC nodes requires only 100 megabytes of RAM, and we use Kubernetes and bare metal, so we're spreading that like really fast. But as we wrote that part of validator, we made additional flags when you're starting it. So it starts without voting, and it just reads the data from that database, which is fed by another validators. So we have like really, really cheap ability to scale the serving of those transactions. So for example, if Solana would get like 10 millions of retail users, we could be ready to serve all those transactions. And we currently now can serve up to 50K historical transactions per second. And we can easy scale that up.
This is awesome, man. I'm glad I'm recording this. So I'm gonna show to the dev team this, because we were trying to do something similar, and I know for how long we were struggling actually to get the historical data. Over the 500 million rows of data, I think, is there. So
yeah, and we like focusing, like we want that our first big clients would be like projects like you, because we know the pain creating that data, and we kind of wanted to solve that pain with data and get back to building that project, but we already saw that it's a lot of job to handling that data, and we're just willing to get projects on board like you, and we already have some abilities to do those backfilling. So for example, we currently decode over 500 programs and all their instructions. So we could like create specific filters, filtering specific transactions or specific instructions and forwarding them to your backend. And later on, just keeping it, doing it real time and filling it up. So you could like, we could backfill your database and keep your database up to date.
This is really awesome, especially for smaller teams, dev teams. They want to start doing any kind of dApp on Solana
because if you don't have that, you're basically locking yourself probably in 3, 6, or 9 months of development cycle where you will be like inventing the wheels, and it's like really, and I see all over it, like many companies like who starting to build like, especially like small startups, they struggle on that initial database build up which they need for their app. So no matter it is like an NFT portfolio tracker, it is wallet or anything else, they spending like a lot of time on building that initial data sets, and that could take like from 6 to 12 months, and this is a lot of money when you think about that.
Yeah, a lot of resources. You either, if you're gonna build your own RPC, it's also gonna cost you a lot, especially if you don't know how to do it properly. I think you're doing even something that we didn't do that. But if you don't build your own RPC, if you're using existing services like QuickNode and other guys out there, it's gonna be very expensive out there. So you need to have a server resources, a lot of proxies, quick nodes, paid RPC endpoints. If you're using the free one, you need to have a lot of proxies. It's a system to build. It's no kidding at all. We are going through this, but we kind of spread over the different things at the same time. It's not fully focused just on that part. So that's why kind of we slowed it down over the course of many months. But I'm really glad that you came here and that I really understand now what is about Dexter Lab. I think I heard about you before, guys. I saw it definitely, but I just didn't go into deeper. Can you tell about the pricing and how does it work? I mean, if someone would like to use your service right now, how would that proceed?
So a bit in different story than many NFT projects, because many NFT projects raising money from like NFT sales, NFT release, and so on. We're building that from our money earned in Web2, so we still have a runaway for 1 year plus, and we don't even have a paid plans for now. So if you want to use our services, you buy our NFT, and it's lifetime pass to our RPC. This is crazy, given that our NFT is only 10 Solana for now. So you're getting lifetime RPC access for 10 Solana right now. So it's and we kind of aiming that our RPC would be like the most fast in the world, and we already have some calls that's already faster than like leading ones like QuickNote and others. And if you want, I can tell you pricing differences when we have pricing. I can tell like differences about QuickNote and our pricing if you are interested, how much it will differ and how much cheaper it will be.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. So like currently QuickNote can serve historical transactions for Solana, but you probably know that starting validator requires like 20 CPU cores and a lot of RAM just to run it like empty. And if you add those queries on top, it quickly ends up, and you need another node. So QuickNote has the ability to spin up like 20, 30 those nodes, which can connect to Google Bigtable. Google Bigtable is not the lag the problem. It's like lag that RPCs need a lot of resources just to sleep and wait for those queries. So QuickNote can start like 20, 30 those nodes, but you will be paying like 50, 20K a month, and the maximum speed they can like push it will be like 10, 20K of historical transactions per second. We can do the same amount of those historical transactions for a fraction of 10th of price. So like if QuickNote would be like 10K, we would be like 1K.
That's amazing what you do there. Like, so you're a really good competitor to the QuickNode. I mean, amazing, especially that you're kind of funding the project from the Web2. That's the really good way you do. So you're not kind of really depending on sales, on the
Yeah, yeah.
royalties and stuff.
We're not extracting liquidity, and we are doing some even crazy stuff with our collection. Not everybody appreciates that because that slowed down a bit from the beginning, the rise of it. We left all the Solana in our MEA pool. So what does it mean? There was no single drop in floor price from the mint. Some people returned those NFTs to the pool. We just take them out and listed them a bit later, but slowly, those impatient holders are changing to patient ones, and those who understand what we're building and not taking Solana also give us like a really free life, and we can move on without explaining every week, like in very details what we're doing, just like delivering in monthly basis, let's say something, but nobody funds that. So keeping those funds and keeping them in liquidity pools also helps us a lot to focus on that single problem right now.
All right.
Sounds like you guys need to connect for real. Like, it sounds like you guys need to get into a private chat.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm not gonna keep it
No.
anymore.
I mean,
Sorry,
it sounds good. It sounds like it will benefit both of you. I think it'd be a really good benefit to both of you.
Definitely. Yeah. I just went and swapped. I mean, swapped if that's swapping, but I just got one of Dexter Lab OG. So definitely we're gonna connect afterwards and speak about our potential collaboration and work. So thanks again, man. Really exciting what you do there. Amazing work you did. I'm glad that we meet up so we can probably something learn from you and use our service out there.
Yeah, thank you. I was following you like from the beginning. I really appreciate how you do weekly updates and that the details of what you're using, like BigDB, that Redis alternatives and so on. So it's kind of, I could like just looking at your updates, I could feel the kitchen, what you're cooking and how you're cooking. So it's really great to see that real updates, not the hyped ones, but like status one, like you used to go to GitHub, GitLab, and just like seeing normal work report, which is like was done in 1 week. You could see how people moving, how thinking, what they're choosing. So it's really great.
Yeah, thanks for the feedback. I appreciate that. Really, we're gonna connect definitely on the Discord and chat and maybe have a private call and so on. Really appreciate that.
Yeah,
you should choose the next one. We probably already used 15 minutes. So
yeah, definitely.
We've got a couple more questions just before we get to the end of this one. So what I want to ask is, I've seen you've already got 2 NFT collections that are live. So can you give the audience some more information on how they interact with the Dexter Labs ecosystem?
Yeah, so first one was more like marketing campaign leftover. So we we did not mint our main collection as we wanted. So by the plan, those batteries was supposed to burn on the minting date. So we released way too much of them. So we burned like 2K of them or something. So we left with some of them. What we will do from now with those batteries, we will give one of utilities I can leak now. Okay, I can leak 2 utilities. So batteries is like like straightforward, like battery for robots. So robot has let's say 10 million RPC calls per month. If you burn some batteries into robot, you can increase those RPC calls limits monthly. This is one utility. And second one, we want to use the rest of those batteries as demo passports. We brought a lot of them from market ourselves because that was a free mint. So we just like buying them constantly, and we will be using them a bit in future to give out to people. For example, like be talking in the spaces with the builders, and I can give 10 batteries for all of you just to try our services for 1 month. So it will be like 1 month trial for those we minted for free, and those who minted for Solana, it's lifetime access.
That sounds great. I love that. Just before we carry on, is there anything else you'd like to add or shill that you might have missed, or any juicy alpha you want to drop for the listeners today that have tuned in?
Probably not today, but follow us. We kind of have some interesting ideas how to bite even some big data players like Dune and the Graph, but we still need to build a bit bigger balls before that. So you need to follow us. We probably by the end of summer we should split some grand plans.
Nice, lovely. Thank you very much for coming up. I'm going to open it up to questions from anyone who wants to come up and ask, or anyone who's got questions that want to drop some questions in the chat, and we'll have a little look and see if anyone's got any questions. But if you've got any last little bits and pieces you want to say, now is the time to just kind of shill and give us a little bit of information about what's coming.
Yeah, I think he shared everything that he had right now. Right, Nixax?
Yeah. I'm kind of done. We can move on. Let's
All
do
right,
others.
all right.
No problem.
Kai
Again,
is
thank you
very
very much.
detailed. Just
I am.
Kai is a very detailed guy.
I apologize. I do quite a bit of research into the things I do. I've got to minimize what I say when I can.
Did you look at our new white paper?
I haven't looked at your white paper, but I did a lot of research into your Twitter and into your website.
I can share here on the top if you want.
Yeah, it would be nice to see it. I have a little look.
And we did like really different white papers, so you should look to that one. I share it. So it's as many building like in riddles and pictures. So we did like try to do as clear as possible, added like minimal text, added additional audio on each category, so you could go and really feel that a bit like.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I like that. That's a good little idea. I like that little flow diagram. Essentially, it looks good.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for coming up again, everyone. Please go drop them a follow. It'll be at Dexter Lab Data. You can give Unizax a follow as well. It's not an understatement to say that you'll probably see them quite a bit, and they're just getting started. Okay, we've got our next guest coming up now. And I'm going to pick one at random. Drax from Famous Fox.
All
Glad
right.
to have you here, my friend. Glad to have you here, my friend.
Yeah, just like real quick heads up too. There's like the smallest amount of feedback on your side, so I don't know exactly what your setup is like.
Yeah.
But just wanted to let you know because I'm sure it comes through in the audience as well.
Yeah. It's my other phone.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I think you need to lower some sound if it's coming to because it's going to back to the microphone. I think.
Yeah, like speakers or something.
Is that any better?
Yeah. Let's say something.
Not really. Hello.
Yeah, I think it's better.
Yeah, significantly better.
Ooh,
all right.
I might have to stuff my phone inside my couch and try and stop it from giving feedback. I apologize.
That's okay.
But great to have you here. And again, we're all doing something before Web3, and I'd love to learn more about your story. So give everyone present some background on yourself, as well as what Famous Fox is and what your aims are for the world of Web3.
Yeah, of course. I don't want to take up too much time, but low key had joined. Actually came from an electrical engineering background from undergraduate school in the States. Had always been interested in like investing / alternative finance. Found out about crypto just prior to the bull run of 2017. At the time that I actually bought it, I didn't buy ETH, but ETH was $12, just to give people an idea of time perspective. Didn't hold long enough, just coming from, I would call it like TradFi investing, watched Bitcoin rally to like 18K from $860, which was just mind blowing to me. And I've fell in love with it ever since. So I've been interested in learning. I've been into different communities over the past 6+ years, 7 years, I guess at this point. And I've just like fallen in love with everything. Wasn't until 2021, the bull run of 21, that had actually captured a decent attention of mine with regard to NFTs and kind of more so what they stand for, but also the communities behind them. And I just latched onto the general concept of NFTs. And once the summertime came around, things started to cool off a little token wise. And was just learning more about NFTs, what they could do, what they can't do, primarily on ETH at the time. But then had heard about Solana, and so me and a couple of friends got together. We said, "Hey, I think we can make a project that's different than everyone else." We didn't want to be the next monkey project. Both Bored Apes and Degen Ape Academy and SMBs and all that fun stuff. I mean, they can be the monkeys if they want to. So we wanted to make the foxes. We had a couple of different design ideas. Ultimately landed on foxes, and our main goal really was to create this brand that's also tied into legitimate building within the tech. And it started off staking token. And then the first thing that we did to kind of revolutionize what tokens can actually do from staking was we created Foxy Swap, which is peer-to-peer swapping, and it accepted Foxy as the means to do that transaction. So that's the way we started. We've had to scale and recognize that there is a level of added friction with only having a token as your gating system for utility. There are a lot more people that don't own Foxes than that own Foxes. And, our goal too, from a brand standpoint, is to make sure we are capturing as much attention as possible. And so since launching our project, we've created, I think someone the other day had said 25 utilities, which sounds about reasonable for me. We have gamified staking. We have like a reward system built in with that for technically all 4 of our collections we have created. We're tied in with the art space, both from creating one-of-one pieces for our Friends and Foes collection, as well as our Marmalade artist commission platform. And we're probably most well known for our whitelist token market last year that popped off like crazy. We've done over 750K SOL worth of volume on that platform. And it's not just for whitelist SPL tokens, it's also for utility tokens. And then recently, over the past 6-7 months, raffles have been absolutely massive for us. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with our raffle platform. And within the last few months, we've launched our NFT lending protocol, Citrus. And we've just been building that out to be the most robust lending protocol that exists on Solana. Actually, that exists on what I would probably say any blockchain that exists currently. We've been doing a lot of enhancements to it, get a lot of really, really good feedback. And I want to say we're close to over 65,000 SOL worth of TVL on Citrus, which is pretty amazing.
I am very bullish on Famous Fox. I use your stuff a lot, and one day I'll buy my own one. But for now, I think I'll settle for a transdimensional Fox when I can get some more liquid into me. So I'm just going to quickly drill into Citrus a little bit because you mentioned it. I would like to have a little bit more information on exactly what it is and how does it feed into the Famous Fox ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So Citrus is an NFT lending protocol. We do have, for anybody that's interested in building on top of it, we have both an SDK and API available for folks to integrate into their own tools, Wolf Capital being one of them as a lending aggregator, but there are actually quite a few out there that are working on a similar product. At its core, I mean, it really is a peer-to-peer lending protocol. So if you have an NFT, you don't want to sell it. If you don't want to sell it, I should say, if you don't want to sell it, but you want to unlock a level of capital to do whatever you want to do. It could even be just to hold on to SOL or stake it for yield or whatever in that period of time, and you're trying to hedge price volatility. You can borrow SOL from lenders using Citrus. There are a lot of mechanics to borrowing. You can also borrow to purchase. So we have what's called mortgages, or some folks might be familiar with it as a Ape Now Pay Later, where you can put like a down payment on an NFT, take a loan out from Citrus for whatever duration you're interested in that's available. It could be up to 21 days, and then you have price exposure to that NFT collection for that period of time. You can choose to sell it anytime without actually paying the loan off. It'll pay it off itself when you do that sell. Or if you want to then purchase the NFT, you can purchase it by paying off the loan interest and fee associated. And then from the lender side, you can lend SOL against any NFT collection that we have approved. You can see all competing offers. You can actually fund listings as well. Folks that have like a more rare NFT that might want to unlock more liquidity can list their NFT for whatever terms they want. We just added in the ability for lenders to counter with an offer if they want to do something less. Could be less SOL, could be longer term, shorter term, different APY, whatever you're interested in doing as a lender. And you basically just put SOL up against an NFT as collateral. And if that loan defaults, you get the NFT as a lender. The borrower just gets the SOL that they got for the actual loan. But in the case that it's not defaulted, then the lender gets, their initial capital back plus the interest that's due to them, and the borrower gets their NFT back. So it's a very interesting model. You could look at it from both sides as to if you want to hedge price volatility, if you're bullish on a collection, if you're trying to earn yield. The minimum APY we have for lenders is 120%, and it goes all the way up to 240%. And as a lender, you're able to create your own terms. Anything within that APY range. You can do 3-day, 5-day, 7, 14, or 21-day loans. We also added in the ability for like an automatic loan to value tracker. And so you can just deposit SOL into a loan as a lender, and it will adjust the price of your offer to a certain percentage of the floor value. So that way, if a collection goes down and you're not micromanaging your offers, you don't get stuck, at a floor price offer for a week. And then if the price action keeps dipping on the collection, then you end up being underwater. So just as an example, Famous Fox is right now 55 SOL, something along those lines, 53 SOL. If you put an 80% loan to value offer and say the floor price goes up on the collection, your offer will also go up as long as you deposit more SOL into it. So it's almost like a bot that tracks the floor price and will adjust your offer for it. And so that just reduces the risk on lenders to not have to go in and constantly micromanage their offers. It's super, super convenient. And I want to say probably one of the most innovative things within the NFT lending space.
Oh, I really love that. I've been seeing a lot of adverts and marketing geared towards Citrus, and I love the detail that you gave us there. So thank you very much for that. Give us some emotes in the chat, guys, because that was really detailed. I really enjoyed that. So
Yeah, definitely.
another. No, go on, Kinder,
Sorry.
go for it.
Yeah, I saw this Citrus recently, a couple of weeks ago actually, and I was wondering when you're gonna jump into the lending game, because there's so many lenders popping up out there. For RainFi, I saw their stuff looks cool from the point of user experience and the functionality. What, for example, if you compare to them, what you have, or what they don't have, or what you're missing maybe that they have?
Yeah. RainFi is interesting. So RainFi is more of a pool model, but it's an individual pool model. And don't be surprised if we integrate something like that in the not so distant future. But like at its core, the nice part about RainFi is that you kind of just go manage your own portfolio. You pick your collections you're interested in lending against. You pick like the risk tolerance that you have. You kind of do it as like a set it and forget it fashion. But I think it's a little bit more challenging on the borrower side, if I'm honest. And I think the yields, if I'm not mistaken, are a little bit lower. So that's what I would say from RainFi. From our side, I mean, it really is peer-to-peer. You can do private offers. You can do offers specifically for NFTs. Again, you can do automatic adjusting for the floor value, which again is super, super convenient. You have customizable terms for every loan you make. You can do 50 at a time for offers. You can bulk borrow if you want. There's really a lot of enhancements that we've created compared to other models that are out there. But RainFi and us, it's kind of like apples and oranges right now. So their model is more of a pool based, where ours is direct peer to peer.
I see. Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah,
Kai, can I say or ask something else while the Trax is here? All right. So as I said, the Famous Fox Federation is a brand and let's say utility project on Solana is one of the best in my case. So if not the best, so I really love it what you did there, guys. You have a soul. It's a very recognizable brand. The tools that you build are super useful. That is kind of our goal, to create value for people. We provided also a lot of free tools out there that didn't have a sense to lock down. I like how you did there. Um, the marketplace, like you said, I think. Do you think that marketplace? So there's some questions I'm trying to learn from you guys. Do you think that the marketplace, the token marketplace, actually give you a lot of boost out there last year when the whitelist started popping out? I mean, let's say late 21.
Yeah, our whitelist token market, I want to say, is what really put us on the map. We had Foxy Swap, we had Ding, we had like a couple of smaller utilities that were very useful for people. We actually had like a decent bit of traction on Foxy Swap just because, the reason we created it wasn't to evade royalties or any of that shit. It really was the fact that anytime somebody wanted to do a peer-to-peer trade, they had to find somebody trusted to handle these middlemen deals. And, usually, depending on the size of it, it's founders of projects. Like that's like the trusted person for a project. And in all honesty, I mean, I know our products has grown since then, but like I don't have the time to jump in a group Discord chat, accept both people as friends, handle all that shit. So like I looked at it where you scale that to how many thousands of tens of thousands of products are out there. Maybe they're not all doing this, but how many hundreds, if not thousands of products are doing this? So you really wanted to save time for those founders and the costs for the people that are doing these trades. And you could do it in a very clean, standard fashion. And so Foxy Swap really caught attention from the space, but the token market was the meta was just these whitelist tokens that people were using in Candy Machine in order to mint a project, and you got as many mints as tokens, to kind of thwart botting. And so there was just a huge market need. The very first week we launched our whitelist token market, we had $1 million worth of sales on the platform. And that's going from not having the tool existing in the entire market to $1 million in a week, which is crazy.
You definitely were there, like people said, on right time, on right place. So the tools you provided, with all respect, not kind of very complex, like you said, maybe swapping tool or even the marketplace, but you were there in the right spot in the right time, and you did it well. Everything was on the right on spot. The user experience was there. So that's the momentum. You had a really good momentum and use it. I definitely use your services and still use some of the services. Great work. I have one more question, Kai. Sorry for jumping in and taking over your spaces, but I find that this is opportunity probably for other founders that they can learn, because I'm the founder and I have a question. I have the issues and problems to solve. So first of all, I mean, just wondering, are you guys doxed or not?
So I'm like semi doxed, but Foxy Dev is not doxed. We're the two co-founders for the project. I would say that I'm semi doxed. I've been at NFT NYC a few times. I've met a ton of folks IRL, but not like public with throwing up my LinkedIn and like all that shit. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Do you have a follow up to that?
There was a couple of founders in the other spaces. I was also asking a very direct question because I needed to know this. I tried to learn to see. So is a kind of Foxy kind of operating like a legal company? Maybe it's just kind of community project.
It operates as a legal company. Yeah. So we have kind of a mix to it. We're international. So our team, like that we have, again, our team is like really part-time aside from myself and Foxy Dev, but we're like all throughout the world. So it's a little bit more complex than just your standard, brick and mortar store you have like in the corner of some place, or even like a drop shipping company or anything along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's a remote distributed team, I guess. I mean, like we do here. Yeah, I'm asking for a point, for a perspective, like, so can you tell me, for example, you have the token, famous Fox variation have a token, and do you think the token played a really big role into your ecosystem? Like, how important was actually to have your own token out there.
You mean and you're specifically referring to Foxy?
Yes.
Our token Foxy. Yeah, in all honesty, like I think it depends for a project as to what you're going to do with that token. The nice part about like what we've created is not only do we have like our own full ecosystem. Now we can't integrate every token into everything that we have, but we've created tools that can help projects enable their tokens to be useful. I wouldn't say valuable, I would say useful. Like that's how we look at it. At its core, like SPL tokens that folks are getting via staking or whatever reward mechanism that a project is given, it's done in for the most part, a passive way, right? And the last thing you want to do is peg a value associated to that specific token because it just creates a lot of problems. So really what you want to do is have these other mechanisms in place for folks to be able to spend those tokens akin it to an arcade, and give it some use case. And in the off chance, that somebody is able to win a thing with it, it's like congratulations, like you actually were able to make something from nothing. And so that's kind of how I look at it. Our ecosystem enables other folks to have their own kind of ecosystems, whether it's with raffles, whether it's with Flip, whether it's with our token market, or auctions. Like folks can then leverage other NFTs, on those platforms and say, hey, if you want to spend, I don't know, shitcoin, whatever, on a raffle for a famous fox, like you can do it. We'll give you your token for staking, and then you can use those tokens to like purchase tickets for it. So it really is just like a way of enabling those ecosystems. But you definitely don't, I mean, in my opinion, this is, not financial advice, whatever. You don't want to try to peg or pump a coin from a project because you'll see it. I mean, you see it now in shitcoin season, but in the end, everything goes to zero from a tokens perspective. So you really just want to make it useful, have a way of making it, deflationary or what have you, but also don't make the requirements for like paying what the token absolutely ridiculous. So people are like draining their bank accounts to try to buy a specific thing. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, thanks for your explanation. That's why I'm asking, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I was thinking having a token with the Moonly, to be honest, was kind of not to feel too confident to build a token just to have a token. I was watching so many projects dying because of the tokens or big, bad tokenomics. But in your case, you kind of provided a utility or something like that behind of it, the reason actually to use this. So all right, thanks for all of this sharing this information. I will have definitely so many questions, but maybe one day, let's say in Amsterdam, somewhere October, maybe we can join with a couple of beer or something, and we can enjoy or just chat or whatever it is. So thanks a lot, man, for coming here. If you wanna, I mean, Kai will take over. Sorry. I felt like I'm the host, but I'm not. I'm just a random guy here. All right.
But no, yeah,
no, that's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna just to add one point to that too. So like one thing from a tokens perspective within our ecosystem is that we have like a leveling system with our token gate, or not our token gated, with our Fox gated missions that we've created, a gamified staking platform basically. And once you get to certain levels, like you can spend Foxy to upgrade your traits to a different look for your Fox. For example, the one I have here, and I'm sure there's others in the audience that have upgraded Foxes, but like you spend Foxy to upgrade your Fox. So like it's not just spending the token on, like a random thing. You can also spend the token on like a guaranteed, art upgrade or whatever you want to kind of consider. You can get tails, you can get 3D models unlocked with Foxy. Like there's a lot more that you can build in like as a project. And I think a lot of projects either don't want to spend the time to do it or they might not have the skill sets to do it. But a lot of people should also think about that too, where it doesn't always have to come with like a monetary incentive on the other side for burning a token.
Does that answer your questions?
Yes, definitely confirming me some things. I appreciate, man. Kai, you can take over.
No worries. You answered some of my questions. You asked some of my questions already, so I mean, you are the co-host, so I see why. I do have one final question that I will ask, though, if you're still here, Drax.
Of course.
Have you got any final bits of alpha that you could drop for our lovely listeners today? Anything at all that might be a bit spicy? Anything?
Yeah, so we've been on. I mean, we don't typically do the whole hype train thing. It's just not us. A lot of people actually give a shit and they say that we'll build something and then tell you we're going to do it, which is actually fairly true. But we've been teasing, a change that we're implementing into something, and I'm not going to spill too much alpha on it, but what I will say is we'll have more details coming out Sunday, so just keep an eye on it. For those of you that are lending on Citrus right now, that's where we're starting, so we're just saying, folks that are lending, keep on lending, basically. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for not only Twitter, Discord on Sunday for more information about that.
Well, you guys heard it here first, and you're welcome. So does anyone else have any questions here while we have Drax still here? Anyone who wants to come up and speak, or anyone who wants to drop a question in the chat? Any of the speakers want to ask him a question?
Drax, how are you? This is Hive. I just want to ask, are you on the app? Are people swiping right on you yet, or what?
I have one short one. I see people a lot of recently sharing about your revenues that you I don't want to say exact numbers, but it's like 50K a week or something plus. Do you have any plans to share that revenue with your holders in future, or are you already doing that?
Yes, we don't do a direct rev share, and I'm guessing, Hive, that Unix can't hear you. We don't have a direct rev share. The way in which we reward holders, I'll say with like a portion of that, are through a few different mechanisms. So we actually last Wednesday had finished off the the raffles that we do for the month of April. So between our second bi-monthly April raffle for raffles, we did a Citrus raffle as well for folks that utilize that platform, and we also did a holder only raffle. It was 1,670 SOL that we had given out within the three of those different raffles. Actually more than that, because we included Foxy in there, but we also had done a earlier bi-monthly raffle in April that was around 400 SOL. And every week we have rewards go out in chests in the form of Foxy, Soul, and NFTs, and also prizes from other vendors that probably equates to between 300 to 500 Soul a week. So those are mostly the mechanisms in which we give out. So for the month of April, it was just over, I think, 4,000 Soul that we had given back between users and holders within Foxes.
Okay, so you do it legally. Very good. Because I was afraid that you can be closed if you do a lot of rev share.
Yeah. I mean, I call it more of a gray area than anything else. There's just not that great of guidance for a lot of things in the space, which I think will be cleared up hopefully within the next few years. But yeah, it's a pretty fun way of kind of rewarding folks, and at the same time, I think it gives a little skin in the game for them as well. But to Hive's question, I'm not sure I'm entirely familiar with the application for folks to swipe right. So maybe if I'll listen in to hear you talk more about that.
Damn, Unix cut me off. Can you hear me, Unix?
I don't
think he can hear you. Yeah, I don't think he can hear you at all.
No.
Yeah, there is no issue. Sometimes someone cannot hear other speakers, so probably Unix couldn't hear you, Hive, so that's why he was over you. But did you ask your question? I think he answered. The Drax answered you.
Yeah, he answered. It was I was just, if no one else was gonna ask a question, I just jumped up and asked him a question. I'm sure he's heard of Hive, Tinder for NFTs, and all things Web3, but I'll get into that later.
All right.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the questions. And Drax, thank you very much for coming up and doing the orange theme. Fox is very proud. Where can people get in contact with you when they learn more?
Yeah, so our website is famousfoxes.com. You can honestly, what I would do is click on the utility tab in there and poke around to jump into whatever you're interested in. You can find us also at Twitter, Famous Fox Fed. You can find it from my profile, I believe. And we also have an Instagram channel, YouTube channel. There's some kind of informational content on YouTube, but working on kind of pushing more out there as people have been. I mean, it's been very well received from our community. So we're all over the place.
Thank you very much. I'm bullish. That's all I can really say. I will get my one. I'll get a Famous Fox one day. I'll work towards it. Everyone, please retweet this Spaces. Let's use this platform to build up on builders. And the projects in here are all going to make it. Everyone in here is going to make it. We all know we're going to make it past the bear. And just to let you know, because we're talking about problems in the Spaces, if I do rug, it's all up to Stefan until I get back. Is that all right?
All right. Hope that Uncle Elon Musk doesn't rug again.
Yeah, like I said last time, man, you got to pay him more money. You just have to send him more money. That's all you got to do. Solve all of our problems.
Like I said him 18 soul last time, but okay. I want to do some shameless plug over here while we have opportunity, because this is a builders founder space, and not every project or founder have a technical capability to build something. So we kind of released recently some tools. So some of those are kind of staking as a service where everyone can create no staking for their project without writing a single line of code or hiring the dev. I've been there. I know how hard it is actually to either find the developer that you can trust out there, or either to build this. You need to dive in, especially if you're coming from Web2 space into Web3. You need to understand something. So we kind of build a no-code tool for that. So if anyone need that, feel free to reach me out either over the Twitter or the Discord, or if you know that someone that is launching the project and that he will need a kind of either staking or token creation. I mean, that's a very simple part, the token creation, but we kind of have both of these tied. You can share this, or you can reach me out to speak. Also have in mind that that's why I was asking the Foxy and the Drax about the tokens, how he was how it's playing into his ecosystem. Have in mind that not every project need to have a token, that you can also have a staking without the token. What you can give as a reward is basically you can organize the raffles. It will stimulate the people to delist from the marketplaces, and you can give kind of raffles to the people, and you can give them kind of incentive to delist for some prizes. So everyone who is taking, you can kind of count as a ticket. And yeah, I also was in the one kind of solid spaces on the. It was a World of Marijuana Day, and it was a really good space. I'm not sure, Drax, if you're there at that moment, but it was a really good talk. And someone, I think from Geckos, or someone mentioned that staking actually saved a lot of NFTs from wallet draining. So it's one more reason actually to stake your NFTs to whatever project, to whatever staking system you're using, because it kind of keep your NFTs safe in the spot in case that you got wallet drain. Those NFTs will stay locked into the contract and will not be able to move. So that's one of the benefits. And one last thing. So here with Moonly, we're kind of trying to provide more tools for NFT projects and founders, not just for kind of NFT traders. So if you're about to launch the project, feel free to reach out. So we have various tools from holder verification, staking as a service, and some other tools out there. So feel free to reach me out.
Thank you very much for that, Kendo. We really appreciate it. And yeah, please, if you guys do have any questions or you want to get in touch, contact him directly or send us a message on the Moonly Twitter account, and we'll be happy to answer you.
Thanks. I see Hive have a raised hand. Hive.
Yeah, please go ahead,
Hey,
Robert.
yes, sorry, real quick. I just have another space I had to jump on real quick. So if I can get called last, I'll be back. It's recorded. I forgot. So Helio's having one. I'm just gonna jump on real quick, talk, and I'll come right back.
No
Yeah,
problem.
no worries. No problem at
take
all.
your time.
Go for it.
Thanks.
I'm
Thank
picking
you, thank
people
you.
at random, so no problem.
Thank you, man. Bye bye.
See you.
Speaking of picking people at random, let's see who's next on the chopping block. No, I'm joking. We're just gonna have a chat. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We are gonna have Bunny Soul, and I know that is Eunuch behind the account. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, hi. I was kind of curious if it's gonna be us next on the chopping block, though. Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
thanks for coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks for coming up and sharing some of your time with us. And yeah, your Twitter gives me the impression that you've had a varied life before Web3. So if you don't mind, give us some more information on your background on what you're currently up to in the Web3 space.
Sorry
Definitely,
for
definitely.
jumping. Just to be clear, I do not hear bunnies, and that's the one of the issues with the Twitter Spaces. So I'll just try to get the context from your feedback, so you can continue speaking. Unfortunately, I cannot hear you.
Same here.
Holy
still
All
hear
right.
me?
No,
Can you
we
still hear
hear
me?
Kai. We hear Kai, but we don't hear the bunnies. So I'm not the only one, it seems. But yeah, that's
Oh,
a
can
live
everybody
in the
hear
Twitter
bunnies?
space.
Can you give me some thumbs up or thumbs down in the chat? Let me know if you can hear bunnies. Oh, we've got a couple of thumbs downs actually.
I
Yeah,
can reconnect.
but yeah,
Yeah, go for it. Reconnect and I'll invite you back up. That's not a
All
problem
right,
at
all
all.
right. Give me 2 minutes. I'll reconnect. Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks.
What you can do, maybe you can summarize in 1 minute or 30 seconds after he finished the talk. But I think let's see if he gonna reconnect. Let's see if it's gonna make work. That's happening a lot in the Twitter Spaces. So
Yeah, there seems to be quite a few issues with Twitter Spaces going on, especially when it comes to speaking to certain people in the Twitter Spaces. It sends to just like, well, I can't hear you, you can't hear me, but everyone else can hear you. And then they disconnect people as well randomly. They cut off spaces after a certain period of time, and it's kind of annoying actually. You'd think for such an expensive company with so much money and resources and power that they fix their spaces is probably one of their primary things that they could get right. But yeah, I'm ranting, aren't I? I apologize. I mean, no, I don't apologize. No, I'm not apologizing. Okay, while we're waiting for bunnies to come up, I guess we'll go into the next project, shall we? And yeah, it's going to be Obes from Vula Labs.
Hey, what's going on? I just saw Bunnies rejoin, so I don't really want to cut him off. If you want to just give back the mic.
Let's see if it works, actually. I will yield to that. Let me see if it works. See if we can get him up here and if he's going to be able to talk and if we can all hear him. Eunuch, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you guys hear me now?
yes,
I can definitely hear you now. Yep, I can definitely hear you now. That's good.
All right,
Much better.
perfect.
Sorry, Obes. I will get to you soon.
I'm not sure.
But yeah,
Not sure what happened earlier, but yeah, good thing everybody can hear me now.
that's not a problem. Just blame Elon. It's fine. Send him an email and blame Elon.
All right. Well,
So as I was saying before, if you don't mind, give us some info on your background and what you're currently up to within the Web3 space.
surely. All right. So, all right. My background first. So my name is Eunuch. You will see my personal account in the audience as well. It's wearing our Bunnies PFP. So I've been in Solana for almost a year, like around 11 months, but been in crypto for almost 2 years, I think. So I started on ETH, became a day trader, and eventually moving to NFTs after. And then since I was in the finance
sector before, and being a tech startup founder previously as well. So I started exploring how the tech in Web3 can become the next big thing um, on the tech industry. So, surprisingly, I found a very big potential on it, and hopped in. I have some code like dev background for Python, Java, and then I started looking into Rust. So that's basically it. And then to cut the long story short, I learned Rust. Everything else came in smoothly after, and I launched a Freeman project like last year, formed a small community around it, and we launched simple tools like there's so many. So we have, but everything is also available in Famous Fox now. So we have the token sender, the mass token sender, the bulk NFT transfer. We also have the similar to Soul Incinerator, but that was early around Q2 last year, so it wasn't very popular by then. So we developed our own. But yeah, unfortunately, I do understand by being in the space for a year that it's not really enough to just being in the space and actively participating by throwing out tools out there. So yeah, eventually last Q4 last year, a couple of my friends who were in the community, we then decided to launch Bunny. So yeah, with the popularity, I would say, of Clayno and I would also want to say Knitables, but it's mainly Clayno, right? We then started to dig in on the IP category, not only on the Solana blockchain, but also in Ethereum. So we did some thesis and studied some few cases of IP um, all over the blockchain, and we found out that it's in its infancy stage right now in Solana. While it's already flourishing in Ethereum, I would basically understand why Clayno had its run, because the IP category in Solana is very new. So because of that, one of my friends who's a gaming developer, he does flash games, who also migrated to full time Web3, discussed a few possibilities, and yeah, that's where Bunnies got conceptualized as a whole. The idea is to start as an IP project, so mainly all about JPEGs, the design, PFPs. That's for the short and the midterm, but for the long term, uh, we plan to. This is kind of ambitious, so a lot of you might, how would I say this, might think it's a very big goal to try to pursue, but we plan to make, as gaming isn't really a very big thing in Solana right now, despite the scalability potential, the low fees that we have here, and the speed that we have when it comes to executing transactions in Solana. We do see that the gaming industry can also thrive in Solana. So by being an IP project first, leading to an overall gaming platform in the long term. That's what we're trying to pursue with Bunnies. So our first proof of concept, which is D's Quest, that's already deployed on chain, but it's on DevNet right now. It The Solana Foundation reached out to us for a spot in the Solana Accelerator program. So fortunately, I'm happy to say, and I'm proud to say as well, that that proof of concept has been approved. We're now sorting everything out, and uh, hopefully, soon we might get some sort of mentorship when it comes to the program, and at the same time, uh, funding for that specific proof of concept. Now, moving towards the gaming, I would say gaming category long term. We plan to start with D's Quest, which is right now present with bunnies. So a lot of people in our community are playing it and starting to try it out. on DevNet, and we're kind of happy with the result. And that's why we want to build around our community by building the Bunnies IP face for the meantime, and hopefully, explore the IP category more as we go through the months in pursuing our long-term goal of establishing a gaming platform in Solana. And that the good thing about that is it's already being started by the Heist. So not just their game right now, but their game before as well. So there's already a proven track record that gaming can flourish in Solana if approached properly. So that's basically it for bunnies.
Oh, I really love that. Thank you for that. That's a really detailed explanation of what you guys have got going on, and I really dig the art that you guys have got. I know you're a 3D artist as well, so I'm assuming you're the one who does the art, and yeah, it looks really clean. Stefan, I know you've got your hand up. Go for it.
Yeah, I had a question at the beginning, and some of it's already answered. I was wondering, he was mentioning the IP category. For people who don't know what IP stands for, intellectual property, I guess you're referring to that, right? So, so that was my first question, but you kind of responded that when you're talking about IP, you mean that as a project for kind of art-based project, right?
Yes,
Is that
yes, that's
correct?
correct. Yeah, that's correct. Because we didn't really want to, understanding the Solana ecosystem and the degens living on it. We don't want to overwhelm everyone by. That's the reason why we started with a very simplified explanation on our project, because we don't want to overwhelm everyone and try to tell them something that may sound like an over delivery when it comes to our long-term goal. But yeah, IP basically stands for intellectual property, but that doesn't necessarily stop at JPEGs and the designs being copyrighted and all that. Also, it proceeds to envelope like a very big how would I say, a very big section when it comes to ideas. So, but yeah, we're trying to. That's why our tagline internally within our team is JPEGs in games. That's our internal tagline within the team.
That's a nice tagline. Um, all right, I checked your art. I'm kind of design-oriented person. There's a lot of arts I don't see. I see a lot of repetitive art style, kind of, Fiverr designer style, which I do, to be honest, I don't like. But I like your art. It remind me a little bit on Lily. Not sure if you inspired by Lily or not, but it's kind of really nice art. I see these sharp edges, and contours. So I like it. Great work on the art, whoever made it.
Yeah, I made it. To be honest, to be completely honest, like Bunjil's design methodology on the whole Lily's collection is something that I looked at around December to January this year when I was finalizing the bunny's design. And uh it's just quite amazing how you would perceive your art, the art of your NFT project, when you're looking at it on its full resolution versus looking at it on a circular template as a Twitter PFP and a Discord PFP. So that's mainly the reason why the palette colors and the deep colors of the primary colors stand out if you pair it with thick lines along with pixel art. So like the entire design methodology of Lily combined with also one of the major things that we looked at is Famous Fox with their thick lines, their vibrant colors. And designing the Bunny's PFP to what it is now has been a very fun process altogether before it came out what it is right now. So yeah.
I love to hear it. Thank you for that little explanation. I want to quickly dig into one little aspect that I've been researching. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you guys are building around the backpack wallet in order to harness the power of XNFTs, which I believe is also one of the big narratives that's coming up. But what have you specifically seen in the backpack ecosystem that will benefit Bunny Soul as a project?
Yeah, yeah. That's a very good question, a very timely one as well, because XNFTs right now are on the rise. Because observing the backpack Discord, there are a lot of people who are now after the Mad Lads mint. A lot of people are now trying to explore more on the XNFT side of development on the Solana platform. Now, on our end, it's just easier to have one single platform for all of the games. So it's like, because the way the backpack wallet is designed is like it's also an app store within the wallet in itself. So instead of creating web dApps for like, let's say, each and every game, because right now we have around 3 to 4 concepts that we will be finishing this next quarter when it comes to the games. And instead of creating multiple web dApps for it, but the dApps will be available as well. But instead of creating them separately, we can just create one single platform as an XNFT, which includes all of them. And you just have to open them. You don't need to open multiple tabs in Windows on your browser, and you can access everything within the backpack wallet to play the games, access your balance, and the fun part about that is like migrating it once the Saga phone comes out natively for not only the dApps but also for the games that we're trying to develop. Migrating won't be very hard if we're gonna be starting up with XNFTs. So that's basically it.
I'd love to hear it. Thank you for that. And I'm going to quickly have a question about the NFTs themselves. So I want to ask this in an articulate way, but I can't bring myself to do it because, we've got to be a little bit fun here. So when?
Yeah. When?
Yeah,
We are
when?
gonna be yeah, we're gonna be minting on May 15th. So that's gonna be on Monday, uh 5 p.m. UTC. Um it's actually, I mean, like, a lot of people have asked me, because most of the time other projects, their challenge is on the delivery of the utility because they don't have devs, right, on their team. On our challenge, because we have devs as founders, and then at the same time we have like a very small tight knit community backing us up, right? um However, the challenge is putting it out there, and at the same time curating the specific market that we want buying our NFTs, um that are focused mainly on innovation. So, which is also the reason why the final supply of 5,550 wasn't very easy for us to like decide on, because 10K would be too big, 2K would be too small, and at the same time we also have what we call our swap program for our old community that I created last year, where you can swap 5 of the NFTs that you had before, and you can swap it into one bunnies on launch. So, like, on the 15th of May, it's like I'm very much confident about the launch, but at the same time, also very much nervous at the same time that like the community that we curated uh isn't up to par with all this shit going all over the TL. But yeah, I think delaying it further would just, cause more harm than good. Just like what a famous saying that I love, to succeed you have to fail, but don't do it too long. So that's the reason why we have decided on a mint date, and we're trying to pursue it. So yeah, see you guys on the 15th of May for our launch of bunnies. And I hope you can find your forever bunnies as well.
Thank you very much for that. That was really appreciated and really like that little fun twist at the end. And I'm going to be a bit cheeky and ask, is there any way for audience members to potentially get some whitelist spots? Do you have any whitelist spots to hand out by any chance?
Definitely, definitely, definitely. For you guys, we uh you just have to go to our Discord and basically go to the lobby, the chat lobby, and say that you're from the Builder Space by Moonly NFT, and our team will automatically grant you our whitelist role for the guaranteed mint phase. So Birds, who's also in the audience, is right here. Also VDS Meta, who's also one of our top contributors, is also in the in the audience. So they'll be in our Discord chat, waiting for you guys. So just pop in. We still have 300 spots left. We just reopened our wallet collection earlier. Just pop in, and we'll accommodate you, and then you can submit your wallet directly through Atlas.
Hearts in the chat, please, guys. Thank you very much for
So
that.
you're very
Stefan,
much welcome, man.
thank you very much. Stefan, I know you've got a question. Go for it.
Yeah, I have one question for the founders in the audience, for other people who plan to launch their project. So you said that, and also for me, so you said you went through the Solana Foundation Accelerator Program. Can you share more about details and actually when did you apply? How did you apply? Who did you reach? And how was the process about that? In short, if you can, but any information will be useful.
Of course, of course, of course. I mean, it's not really a secret, but the way that the way that we went through it, this is in the perspective of one of our co-founders, Sino Shiba. So he went through the Solana Grizzly Thon in the gaming category, um, and we were able to present these quests. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Candy Crush. So it's a Candy Crush PvP game where you have your own avatars, right? So it's not really the simplest game out there, but it is simple enough if you wanna if you play chess and if you wanna just have some simple fun. So we presented it in the Grizzly Thon. Unfortunately, we didn't win. What won was a rock paper scissors game. And again, understanding the psychology of the Solana ecosystem and the degens within it, I definitely respect and understand why the rock paper scissors game won, right? So I mean, it was an experience. We were also able to network and get our product out there. And luckily, right after that, we continued developing. By the way, if any of you guys, although the code base is still a mess, but if you guys want to reach out to us in relation to that specific game, it is open sourced, so we can actually share that specific game and how we built it. Um, and then yeah, after that, we continued developing it, and the Solana Foundation was the one who reached out to us directly for it. So I mean, it's not like we reached out to them with a product. It's just that we did the showcase in Solana Grizzlython and continued developing it. And then yeah, that's when we got noticed and got invited over to the fold.
I see, I see. So you basically went to the Grizzlyton and connected with the right guys there. They knew about that you're building the stuff. You got Richard. So thank you for that feedback. So I think it might be useful for other uh, projects and founders who are planning to build anything.
Yeah,
Grizzlyton, I think,
definitely.
is a great deal to access. I didn't do this personally, but I guess it's a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, definitely. And also it proves that there are other ways to raise funds in the space, not necessarily just to, create a project. If you have, like, let's say if you have a viable product available and you have a working proof of concept, it you don't have to automatically resort to, going to the space and establishing an NFT project to raise funds. It just further proves that the foundation really looks at other products as well, and really notices like if your product can be viable on any of the categories active in Solana right now.
Okay,
Thank you
all
very
right.
much.
I appreciate
go on.
that.
Go on.
No,
Thank you
it's
very
okay.
much for that. I think we're going
Thank
to
you
keep
as
cutting
well,
each other
guys.
off. But thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. And guys, if you are present and you do want a whitelist spot, I'm going to go and claim my whitelist spot after this Spaces is over. So get yourselves in their Discord and go and get yourselves a whitelist spot. And make sure you follow them on all social media. So thank you again, Unit, for coming up. Drop some hearts in the chat, guys, because it was a really detailed little explanation of their project, and should really appreciate the fact that they take the time to come up. And I also appreciate everyone who is waiting. I know this is quite a long Spaces, but we are going to move on to the next project, and that is going to be OBS. Let's try this again, shall we?
Yeah. Thanks. So, how should we get started?
So, yeah, we're going to get started by letting you know that it's great to have a catch up with you here in the Spaces. Finally, I get to have a little talk with you in a bigger open Spaces and get Vula's name out there to a wider audience. So I already have quite a good understanding of who you are and what you do, but for the sake of everyone else that's listening in the background, give us a little bit of information on yourself, on Vula Labs, and what your goals are in the Web3 space.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having us up. So the main thing I hate about the internet is that you have to give up your identity every website you want to log into, and I'm tired of getting my email crowded with spam. So I figured the best use case for NFTs would be proving ownership and as a source of identity. So what we're doing is we're bringing like token gating to websites, essentially. It's popular in Web3, but we're making it so you can sign into Web2 websites with your NFT, like your Vula or your Moonly NFT. And the way we're doing this is by bringing together all the communities on Solana and kind of like combining our user base and then allowing us to sign into these websites together. So we started off with our beta back in October with our own NFT collection, and this allowed some people to try out the concept. And now we've actually created this, it's called OAuth 2, which is like your standard login button, similar to login with Facebook or login with Google. And now websites are actually able to add it to their website, which is super cool. We just haven't had any websites add it yet because we're only around like, I think now we're at 6,000 users. So we're really, really focused on getting more users by making our services available to other NFT projects. And then once we've gathered enough people, we'll start to see websites actually start adding NFT login.
Very nice, very nice. I'm a big fan of breaking down the barriers of access using NFTs, and I think it's one of the keys to our evolution in the space, actually. So I know it's going to be one of the things that's going to drive our adoption forward in the future. Stefan, go ahead.
Okay, well, guys, nice to meet you. Hello, Obes. I think we were in the chat before. Some of you reached us for your service. I like what you do. I want to say that we are kind of having the similar mission. Probably not going to compete, but one of our kind of direction is also that kind of to provide kind of token gated or for some services out there. So really good work what you do there. Can you tell me what is your kind of experience? Like, are you coming from Web2? Do you have some kind of background? Are you a developer? How did you join the space?
Great question. So I went to school for finance and data analytics. From there, I moved to banking, and then I moved to fintech, where I worked at a company that was focused on alternative assets. And like mid bull run, they went full crypto. So I was already working with like real estate, startups, etc. Then they went full crypto, started learning about crypto. Then I got into NFTs and really just like it kind of smacked me in the face. Like if you bring an NFT to its most basic use case, it is proof of ownership. So why aren't websites using this yet? Like it's a fairly simple form of digital identity to me. And I think it's a great way. And to me, it seems obvious, but I've been working on it for a while. Like NFTs should be used as your form of identity everywhere. So that's what we're working on. We're trying to make that possible.
All right, thanks for sharing this. I'm your I'm in your kind of Moonly website on your collection page. I'm looking your details. I can feel what you're going through. I know that definitely it's not easy as a tech founder or kind of utility project to keep with the kind of satisfying the holders or kind of keeping the floor price up. We're kind of going through the same thing over here. Someone before mentioned that it's not enough actually to be just in the spaces, but it's also not enough also to be just to build. It need to be balanced. I feel that we kind of had really good momentum with Moonly out there when we were kind of meeting people who had a really good expectation, and even I think over expectation from what they saw to the complete product. I mean, to the upcoming product before even the mint. Everything was on spot right. The UI design experience, the branding, the Moonly as a name, as a brand, and but it's kind of missed kind of some momentum out there after burning out with all this mint going and development work. What I want to say that I see definitely what you're kind of going through. It's not easy to build kind of sustainable business into the Web3, let's say, an NFT, a Solana NFT ecosystem. Apart the side, Famous Foxes did really good work on the contrary, like they're rocking. And there is really good momentums out there. Sometimes you're there on the right spot. Sometimes you're kind of always a little bit late, just by tiny little bit. But sometimes you do not execute properly. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying even in our case, in my case, my personal case. But I appreciate what you're doing for the space. I just went into your collection, swipe like couple of NFTs out there to support the system, to support the project out there. I hope you guys are gonna progress and try and do well. If you need any help or any question, you feel free to ask me. I'm always open to chat and to help.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, in terms of building a sustainable project, we just recently launched a product 3 weeks ago that's allowing us to earn revenue now. So, I mean, we're working our way there to have a sustainable revenue stream, which is great because prior to that, we were just building like technology for ourselves to make our login solution available. But as you mentioned, or maybe it was mentioned earlier, I don't think right now we will see mass adoption for crypto, and that's simply because we have a negative light on us. So I think it's more impactful in times like this to focus on building tech for the Web3 ecosystem rather than trying to bring in like Web2 to our ecosystem. So that's what we're focused on, and I think that should just be the main focus for all projects for a little while. Because I think also too, it's probably more important to bring our ecosystem to Web2. So I just keep saying Web3 and Web2 now. But yeah, that's what we're focused on.
No, I 100% agree with that. I mean, I think the wider adoption will come in the future, but our space does have to evolve alongside the times. And yeah, there is a negative stigma around our space, unfortunately. But this is why builders exist, builders like you guys, and builders that are currently up here as guests, and other builders that are in the spaces that are going to be listening to us as well. That's why we exist, real builders that are actually doing real things. So let me get into your NFTs. As you know, I'm a Vula OG and I still hold an old school Vula, even though it doesn't do anything. It's just as a keepsake. But what drove your decision to change the art from the old collection to something new, and why did you pick robots?
Good question. So for anyone who doesn't know, we minted in October as Vula Society, and our whole aim was privacy and anonymity because that is our goal with our NFT login solution. And I think it's great. It allowed us to capture a highly engaged community, which was great, and it's still great because it's definitely how we got started. But back around November, December, we made the decision to transition to a more appealing image, being these like cute robots that I'm PFPing. And I think it just is more inviting and it sets a lighter tone for people, for outsiders. To me personally, it it's a way for us to expand our community.
Yeah, I definitely agree with I like the change, actually. I really enjoy the new art and all the different traits that you've got. So yeah, I'm holding 1 or 2 at the moment. I should be picking some more up when I get more liquid anyway, because I at least want to hold 10, because I know the things are coming, and I know that you guys are always working on stuff over there. Well, you specifically, I know you're always working on stuff over there. And you guys have recently been going off on social media, and I remember us having chats about some methods to get your message across to the masses, like affiliate marketing strategies or video adverts. But recently I'm seeing a lot of focus on your integration with the Club Points app. So why has Builder decided to go in and put such emphasis on this app, and what is the vision you see going forward when it comes to the wider adoption of Club Points?
Great question. So Vola as a whole is under, it's in the thousands of users. And if we want to bring an NFT login to these websites, they don't want access to thousands of users. They want hundreds of thousands or millions. That's why they add login solutions like Facebook and Google, because they know everyone has an account there. And to me, Club Points is our way to provide that. If we can make our login solution available to everybody within Solana and other blockchains in the future, then we'll be able to aggregate much more users, and we'll have a lot more success to get websites to add our login solution. So I think they go hand in hand together, because while we're working to get websites to add our login button, we can also provide this points program, is what Club Points is. It's like Club Points is a way for you to link your Twitter account and earn points for engaging with tweets, and we make it available to communities as a whole. So it allows us to easily onboard much more people, and then we can bring those users to Web2 websites.
Thank you for that. I just wanted to clarify that, because I've seen you guys just go off on Club Points, and I know it's getting a lot more traction, especially with the raffles that you guys are doing with your Voolers, which is really good. I've participated in a few myself, but obviously I've never won any. Kind of sad, but it happens. I'm only buying 1 ticket at a time, because, I'm kind of ticket poor at the moment, but that will change in the future, I'm sure. I'm going to move on a little bit here to your Ortho partnership that you guys have got, because it's the protection of personal information. It's a hot topic in the online space, and it's a big partnership, which is a pretty big deal. So give us some indications on how it benefits Ruler Labs and its holders.
Sure. So Auth0 is an identity solution. You've probably seen it if you've used ChatGPT. It's the standard login box where companies can just add it to their website. They make it super easy. So we've listed sign in with an NFT or NFT login on their marketplace, and websites are able to literally add it in 6 steps. They get an ID and a secret, then they click add sign in with Vola Labs, and then boom, NFT login is on their website. And Auth0 is amazing. They were super easy to work with. It's easy to get listed on there. And that is our solution for becoming widely available. We're also working on getting our button listed on different packages. There's a ton of them. There's Passport, there's NextAuth. And once we're integrated within all these different marketplaces, we'll get a lot more exposure, and the more websites can add us more easily.
Nice. Thank you very much for that. And you mentioned. Go for it, Stefan.
No, sorry. I thought I didn't hear you.
Well, I was going to move on. So if you've got a question for him, go for it.
I didn't check the website in details. Do you have a kind of plugins for popular platforms like WordPress, Shopify, and other probably no-code tools? Do you have this, or in case you don't, did you think about this?
Yeah, Auth0 is the biggest one for a no-code plugin. So we have them, and then we have a WordPress plugin as well.
All right. I would also focus on no-code creators, because actually there's a very small percentage of people who know how to code, like 0.00 something in the world. So basically, we are now into no-code space, ideas using a no-code tool. My suggestion, I don't say that you didn't think about this, but in case you didn't, focus also on the tools that provide kind of no code. It's our no code builders. For example, a bubble, complex and be super code spaghetti. But yeah, I'm talking purely no code, like Shopify, Bubble, and
Thanks. I think
did that go through?
I think I'm cutting out, but that is what we're working on. We're looking to get integrated with these different platforms and marketplaces, so people can add us with a few clicks of a button, and there's no code required because it is difficult to add authentication systems to your apps.
No, I don't think you're cutting out. I think it might be Kinder cutting out a little bit because I hear it a little bit as well. A little bit of feedback, unfortunately. But I think you got the general gist of his question. Have you got any other questions, Stefan?
For now, I think that's it. But if something came to my mind, I definitely will ask. I mean, there is definitely the things I will talk with Tobis, but it's probably not the right time or spaces in these spaces. But yeah, thanks for sharing the project, and I love it. So let's see how it goes. I hope you the best for it.
Thanks, man. Super excited, and thanks for having us up.
No problem. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to request to speak or drop them in the Spaces chat, and I'll ask them on your behalf. But while we wait to see if we've got any questions, do you have any last bits and pieces you want to say, Obes?
Nothing on our end. Our main focus right now is partnering with other NFT projects. So if you're interested in, not using an SPL token and using a points program for your project instead, let me know and I can help with that. So thank you again. Thanks for having us up.
That's something interesting because we were kind of thinking about the point-based system instead of SPL to create something ourselves out there. We should talk about this to see just at least exchange some experience out there, or maybe even using your service. I'll definitely will stay connected. You can always reach me or I will reach you to the Twitter or Discord. Thanks, man. I'm glad that we connected over here in the person.
Yeah, great talking.
I mean, not in real life, but digitally.
Same thing. Yeah, I'll DM you after this. Thanks for the kind words.
Again, thank you for coming up and being such a great guest. Everyone go and check out Vula Labs on their socials. So just click on Obes' face. I'm sure there's plenty of socials that lead you straight to Vula Labs. And it's one of the most underrated builds in the space. Go pick up some NFTs on Magic Eden or TensorTrade or wherever it is that you want to go and get some NFTs. Maybe not Magic Eden, but we'll see. And yeah, while you're at it, guys, retweet the spaces. We've still got a couple of really cool guests coming up. And thank you very much for your patience, because I know this has been quite a long spaces, but we do have quite a lot of things to talk about with the builders in this space. And I want to make sure everyone's heard because it's deserved. Now, in saying that, it's time to move on to our next guest. And our next guest is going to be Neopups. Thanks for sticking around. Are you ready to go?
Hey, I'm ready. Thank you guys so much. This has been really awesome. I've loved hearing about all the projects. I mean, obviously I know about Moonly, Famous Fox, the OGs, but hearing some of the newer ones, it's been really amazing. I'm Pups. I have a TradFi background. I started my career right before the financial crisis. So I worked in mortgages in college, and once I graduated, the whole bubble had burst, and I ended up on the other end in asset management. So I was on both sides of that whole debacle. So I saw how broken the credit system is, which got me really interested in Atadia. So as far as trading, I've been trading since 2008. I got into Bitcoin in 2013, and I found the world of Solana NFTs, I think December 2021, maybe? I don't know. That sounds right. And that's when I found Famous Fox. That was like one of my first NFTs, Famous Foxes and Pesky Penguins. So that's my background a little bit. I joined Atadia because I had a huge passion for credit risk, and traditional finance, and I wanted to see how far Web3 could take it. So for those of you that don't know, Atadia is a Web3 data analytics company. We have our flagship score, which is the PFP score. Basically allows you to determine a person's trustworthiness and reputation without a dox. So along with that, we have our proprietary credit scoring system. We developed a credit scoring system with AI and machine learning based off of data in our own lending lab. So Atadia offers microloans up to 4 SOL, uncollateralized. So you don't have to put up any collateral, no NFT. You just go in. If your credit score is good enough, you can get a loan. Now we are moving forward a little bit. We had our IDO in February, and the purpose of that was to raise funds to scale the lending lab. So now what we're doing is really exciting. I just saw some sneak peeks of the UI yesterday. We are scaling the lending lab to where lenders and borrowers can come in and utilize our lending lab. Because until now, Atadia was underwriting the loans. So now, if you want to lend SOL or USDC, you can come into the lending lab, and we will still be using our proprietary credit scoring model. These loans aren't going to be uncollateralized. So what we're going to do is we're going to push the boundaries of collateralized lending, not only on Solana, but in all of DeFi. So there are some details I can give, but right now we're kind of tweaking and tinkering with some of the, I guess, parameters as far as like which collateral we're going to accept, or which collateral you can choose to accept. We want to keep it so that there are relevant SPL tokens that people have and use, but we don't want to launch with too many to where it's too much of a risk for the borrower or the lender to be using those. So we'll have lending pools. You can come in. You want to lend out 10 SOL, put the 10 SOL there. You put your risk ahead of time. So you can predefine your max loss if the pool were to default. So you have control of what your APY is going to be, and you have control if the loans do default. Like I said, we are tweaking a lot of things, so things may change from now until our release. So don't hold me word for word, but that is the gist of what is coming, and I'm super excited about it. You'll be able to collateralize your Neo-Atadians and ADA just like we planned for during the IDO, and there may be the collateralization of a certain SPL token of a project that's in this space right now. There's a little alpha. I hope I don't get in trouble, but yeah, that's the gist. We recently partnered with Doge Capital on their Kennel, their raffle platform. So when you go onto Kennel, you can see a user's PFP score before you interact with the raffle. And I think that's important because there are tons of raffle scams out there, and people, I think we just saw recently with a certain influencer. We actually took the wallets from that raffle and put a single one into our web of wallets, and it extrapolated all of the other wallets that were associated with that person. So those are some of the products that we're offering: the Lending Lab, the web of wallets. We also have GM Data, which is our data platform. We have consumer profiling, digital advertising type of profile. So anyone can go on gmdata.io and check that out as well. but yeah, that's kind of the major things. We're also working with the major decks to provide something really special. So I think that's almost finished. And yeah, there's definitely more, but I'll take a little breather for now.
That
Let you guys
sounds
ask questions.
amazing. You guys have got a lot going on over there. A lot. I'm sorry about the emoji spam. I thought that Elon rugged me for a second, so I was just spamming a bunch of random emojis. I'm not sure if anyone caught that, but
I love
I
that.
do apologize. I wanted to check and make sure. Anyway, Stefan, what have you got?
Hey, nice to hear you. Nice to meet you. I remember
Same.
Arcadia. I think when we were meeting, you were just to launch your profiling service, where you could kind of profile the people who will kind of meet, so you can kind of prioritize more quality, uh, if I can say more quality, but the people you want out there. Am I correct?
Yeah, we have the Diamond Hand score and the Mint Lover score as well. So you
Yeah.
can determine who is a better like candidate, who's going to hold your project or mint your project from that data.
So definitely you have a lot of stuff in there, to be honest, like a lot of services. I'm on your, I think, do you have one collection out there?
We have the OG Acadians, and we
OG.
released the Neo Acadians in February.
All right, I'm on the OG, and I'll be honest, I really like the art because it's something very, very different. It's kind
Yeah.
of abstract, kind of old style, very old style art, like black and white. Really nice one. Like I didn't see it. Maybe it's something similar exists on the space, but I didn't notice. But definitely, I like the one. While in speaking, I'm gonna grab this guy over here because I want to be the part of your community out there. So
Hell yeah.
I
Awesome.
I have a question. Like you were mentioning something about the raffles. Are you talking about the Famous Foxes raffles?
Pretty much any raffle platform right now, there are some bad actors on there who
Yeah.
buy their own tickets, and they get marked sometimes, but people end up losing out, I guess. So that's something that we want to prevent.
Yeah, so basically that's what I want to ask, and you kind of answered. You kind of, because I was aware about that as well, and I think the Famous Fox Federation also stated somewhere in the docs about that potential, that there is a kind of bad actors out there that kind of, buy most of the tickets, and that means they have most chance actually to win that ticket. So let's say maybe they create a raffle to give a price of, I don't know, okay bear, for example, and maybe there are 100 tickets, but only, let's say, five real participants, 5 tickets are real, so they buy 95%, right, in order to kind of cover, to have more chance to win, right? Is that what you're talking about, that kind of scam fraud, right?
I mean, yeah, and it's not even foolproof, so they could end up actually losing. But
Exactly.
that doesn't usually happen, I think, which is
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the math is easy, but definitely over the time they have more chance because they have more chance, right? Over the time, it's like in the casino, because of the percentage of winning, the casino wins over the long run. It doesn't matter I won, or I don't know, my friend won, but overall the casino actually is the one who won. So basically, yeah, that's a nice tool to have, that kind of an analytics tool. Really interesting.
Yeah, we actually for Kennel with Doge Capital, we started with the PFP score, which is just your reputation, but we want to go further and do the actual web of wallet, so it would have that type of analysis when you view the person's page, because they are two separate scores. So the web of wallets would be, it's bang on tell you what the percentage likelihood of the wallets being owned by the same person. So yeah, we're interested in doing that for anyone who wants to do that. are actually working with Famous Fox. We put our credit score on their Citrus platform. So I don't know if Puppet is talking to Drax about also the web of wallets or the PFP on the Raffle platform, but Atadia's goal is to make things more transparent and safer in a way, so you can know who you're dealing with before you do it, because we are in an anonymous space. So that's one of the goals of Atadia, is to make the space more transparent and safer.
I'm glad that you're kind of in collaboration with Foxy's guys. While you're speaking, some thoughts came to my mind, like how many projects or tools like you or Famous Fox or even Moonly or other guys who are actually building there. There's a lot of tools in there, and I think the space is not that big, and that tells me that we're kind of again still early. I mean, it's a cliche, you hear that talking about the influencer, you're early and stuff, but indeed, I mean, so many people and companies are to be onboarded into this space to use those tools. So I think we all here who are kind of right now in this moment are kind of very early, and will be kind of probably settle somewhere in the history, let's say 10 years from now, 15 years from now. I mean, the time is go, we cannot stop it, right? So sooner or later the 10 years will pass. So when we turn back, we will see, all right, those guys was building this stuff, even 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Look at this. And now, maybe at that moment, the blockchain or Web3 will be massively adopted. And so I think we're doing great. Everyone here doing really good stuff for the future.
Yeah, so it's a great group of builders, and I see a lot of synergies among us. And I find that the best way forward in Web3 in the blockchain is collaboration. Like I would love to see. I've noticed quite a few possible opportunities for partnerships and everything just while we're chatting here. So I think sticking together and moving forward the ecosystem as builders, as a community of builders, it is so much more powerful than everyone trying to just race to nothing, trying to build the same thing, or trying to be on top, this and that. I think we could get so much further with groups like this.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. I was waiting for you to go for it, Stefan. I know you want to say some more. Go for it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can take over. I was just distracted by the other message, so you can take over. I actually figured out some issue right now on the Moonly, so that's why I was, oh my god, like, let me report it. So okay.
No worries, no worries. I did have one question for you.
For sure.
Asterisk Phi, is that related to Atadia in any way, or is it separate?
Oh no, Asterisk, I'm working on a V33 DEX on ZK Sync as well. So we could talk a little about that, but it's not Solana, so I figured just stick to Solana builders. But yeah, up to you.
I mean, we could go a little bit into that. You can just give us a very small amount of detail on what that project is and what you think is important about the narrative of a 3-3, because I'm kind of familiar with Olympus DAO and other things like that of a similar nature. So you want to give us a little bit of information of why you think the narrative is important?
Sure. So traditional DEXs like Uniswap, their incentive model is flawed. I guess you would say that the incentives of LPs and protocols and token holders are not aligned. And often you see with tokens like Uniswap, it's just a trending to zero because of the way the tokenomics are. So with V33, the model aligns the incentives better among the DEX, the protocol, the partner protocols, the token holders, and the liquidity providers. So that's like the most high level, I guess, explanation. So it was actually one of the models came out, the first one by Andre Cronje came out months ago, and it actually failed, but it spawned so many people, other projects who feel that this is revolutionary if done right. So right now, a lot of the projects are kind of just experimenting. Of course, there are simulation models that we take a look at to do the emissions schedule and everything, but we're trying to figure out what the best way forward is to get everyone's incentives aligned and for the protocols to have longevity and be sustainable. So that's on ZK Sync. ZK Sync is having some gas problems at the minute because of all the meme tokens, but the idea is that the gas will be cheaper than Ethereum, but the chain will have like the security of Ethereum with less fees and faster. So there are a lot of airdrop opportunities going on in ZK Sync right now. If anyone is an airdrop hunter, you should check that out. But yeah.
Thank you very much for that. I just wanted to clarify it a little bit more and give you guys a little bit more of a rounded kind of space to talk about the rest of the stuff that you guys are doing as well, because I know you guys are doing Atadia and you're doing Asterix as well, which is really cool. Yeah, I haven't got any more questions for you, but if anyone else has got any questions, feel free to request and come up and ask a question, like raise your hand, or if any one of the speakers has got a question, feel free to just cut me off. I mean, I don't mind. But if not, Neopups, have you got any last things you'd like to say?
Just follow the Atadia account. We're going to start probably dropping some teasers and more information soon. But the data scientists have been extremely hard at work. They don't sleep, so things are coming. I know people have been a little impatient because the market isn't so great, but just rest assured that we are really working hard and delivering exactly what we were promising. So stay tuned.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And thanks for taking time out of your day to hang out with us and share your vision. Again, I'll always support real builders in the space. Yeah, spam emojis in the chat, everyone. Thank you very much. And we've only got one more guest because Hive appears to have abandoned us. So we're going to go and move on to Amorphos. I got the Herb. Herb, you there? It feels really weird.
Hello. I am. Yes, I am.
It feels really weird saying that out loud, but thank you for joining us today. It's great to have you here, and sorry for the long wait. What do you think of today's project so far?
I really like what bunnies are doing. It sounds very interesting. IP play. Like the idea of creating games early in Backpack as well. Definitely seems interesting. Definitely something I've got my eyes on.
Great, great. But now it's your turn. And I'd like to learn more about your background as well as what your project is and what you hope to achieve in the Web3 quiz.
Well, I'm Herb. Sort of before Web3, I was a software developer. Sort of finishing up at the largest software house in the UK. So I kind of got bored of that, and I had lots of Web3 work at the time. So I left my job in November last year to work on Amorphos full time. Last year would be sort of from the start of last year until about September last year. I was just doing a lot of work for different projects. So there's probably over 50 to 60 projects on Solana that use code that I've wrote, which is pretty cool.
That is really cool, actually. How did you manage to get that many projects? How did you manage to reach out to that many projects in such a short period of time?
So honestly, it all just came from word of mouth. Never once did I kind of market myself at all. Plus, as well, I was far too busy. I'd be finishing work at 5:30 and then going straight to Web3 until 3-4 o'clock in the morning every day. So I didn't have time to do any form of kind of like actual marketing. It was all just word of mouth. If people were happy with the work done, they would always then talk about it. lots of times do work on a project. One of their holders would know a project that was struggling to get something done, so they'd put me in touch, and then it would just go from there.
Very nice. So you work quite hard, I can tell. I mean, yeah, a lot of DJs like me as well also stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning, and then it's not very good for us, but we got to do what we got to do. And I am super bullish on your project, and it's super early for the listeners out there. So I'd drop them a follow if I was you. So
Thank you.
no problem at all. I want to get onto your artwork, and I've seen your artwork on Twitter. It's wild. It's really clean, and it's got really good colors. And I've noticed a little bit of an alien theme going on. So, what is the inspiration behind your artwork for the project, specifically the NFTs? And is there sort of lore that you're aiming to build on? And if so, could you give us a little bit more information on that?
So the artwork, we sort of started on it June last year. Took us about 5 months to get all the art done, so it was finished in October. But then, of course, FTX happened, and everything kind of went to shit, and nobody was happy with life. So we kind of put any idea of a mint on hold. The art is all hand drawn on pen and paper. Each one of the hand drawn pieces was then scanned to PC for painting. It was all done by a very talented artist from South America called Fiasco. That he's not very well known in NFTs, but I think with his talent, one day he will be. The sort of like vibe that we're going for was something different. So we see lots of traits like the skin traits or fur traits that generally they would be higher than normal floor price. But we thought, well, what can we do here that's different? So we decided we could split the body into two to make heads and bodies. So this then allowed us to kind of play around with different ideas to have a body that looks one way and a head that looks totally different. When generating it, some look absolutely stunning. Some you probably would prefer if it had some clothes on, if I'm honest. But that's what it is. It's just all generated. We have no choice over what they're going to look like in the end. Well, some choice, but not too much choice. We wanted to kind of keep a surreal theme going on. Myself and my co-founders, we all like surreal art. And we didn't see that much surreal art in Solana. Especially like at the time last year, it was mostly SD gods everywhere, and they're not as different. They look too normal, too human. So that was the surreal aspect of it all. As the NFTs were coming out and all the traits were being made, we were trying to think of a name. So amorphos is shapeless in Spanish. That is quite nice and quite catchy. And yeah, if you look closely at the heads of the NFTs, they don't actually have a face. There's shapes there that kind of resemble a face, but technically it doesn't have a traditional face with facial features and expressions. Therefore, it's shapeless.
That's really cool. I really like the idea behind it, and I want to dig a little deeper into it. I want to go into your project a little bit. What inspired you to create your own project with your co-founders? What are you seeing that was lacking in the space that you could facilitate with Amorphos?
So one of the main things was, at the time, June last year, I was getting so much work that I had university friends help me, that I was sort of teaching them the basics, or even just simply getting them to do front-end work for me, like just UI. It got to a point where I even had a friend who had never coded in his life, and I sort of taught him just bare minimum basics of simple things like making tokens or just uploading stuff to a candy machine just to save me time. So it meant that he would make money essentially just lending out his computer, running a few commands, chilling, letting it happen while I could write code basically all day. So we were thinking, well, if we had a project behind it, it would market us a lot more. So the idea would be that with a project behind us, with however many holders, the holders would be able to help us to find even more work, thus creating even more word of mouth. So it just kind of adds to everything. It gives us more ways to create money. More money means we can reward holders more, means holders are happy. If holders are happy, they don't sell, so floor price goes up. And that means people are happy and hyped and want the NFT.
Hey, thank you very much for that little explanation. Stefan, go ahead. Stefan?
Sorry, I was in the middle of sharing some pinned tweet. I guess I didn't share this pinned tweet. I'm trying to figure it out how. I didn't hear from the beginning to hear what is the project about. But yeah, the art is amazing. Really, I like these colors, and it's totally different. Like you said, it's kind of so basically. Does this mean that you kind of have a two traits like body and the head? I mean the trait types, right?
Yes. So any head could end up with any body.
Yes, a very interesting concept. Like I didn't see that before, to be honest. But the designer is a very good one. I the shapes, the graphic, the colors, beautiful. So definitely, it's in my taste. I like it. So once again, in short, what is the project about? Is it I see you're mentioning like you're kind of a developer. But I understand that around 50 projects use it. You use it your code. So what did you actually code? Like, if I could hear more, are you the kind of front end developer or kind of back end developer or blockchain developer? And what do you kind of you're offering? Because what I heard that you figured out that running the collection will give you more exposure, which is a true, and probably give you some funding as well. So can you, in short, sorry, because I was with my girls out there and missed this initial conversation. Can you actually just in the short tell me so basically what kind of the project is about?
So well, the sort of work I would do last year was mostly different staking sites. So front end, back end, raffle
Staking, all right.
systems, auction houses, and even mints as well for smaller collections.
All right. So basically, okay, you covered them all. All right. Now I understand. All right. And
Yeah.
will the collection offer something like kind of some services to people, or it's purely art based?
Well, we have kind of two different paths that we're wanting to take. The first is kind of for the ecosystem. So we want to develop a few different tools for the ecosystem and for everyone to use and hopefully enjoy. The first one we're going to be releasing before we mint. It is going to be a tool to help sub-DAOs. Since in NFTs, people say builders are the important bit and the utility is the important bit. But in reality, after a year being in NFTs, I don't believe it. I think the main part is the community. So we want to kind of help to harness community power through sub-DAOs and give sub-DAOs a way to kind of organize themselves, to arrange votes, invest together, create events, all this sort of things. For kind of the other side, we want to act as almost a software house. So any software we sell to other projects, we would have as part of our collection as well. So it means then that we have code readily available for clients to test, for them to be able to see, okay, well, how does your system differentiate from this system? Well, here, just give it a try. It also gives us a way to provide utility to our own project, because if people are paying us for utility, then it would be kind of bad if we didn't offer the same utility to our project. And then we want to create a way to reward holders based on the income that we receive from our products and our software house, which is very difficult to say without saying the rev share word, that's something that we are 100% not doing. So please do not think it's going to be free money. We do, however, have a very fun and interesting way planned to kind of offer up monetary rewards to people for completing different tasks, and the monetary rewards that they would receive would depend on how well the software house does. If you want to think of that as rev share, then you're wrong. I'm sorry, it's not rev share, but close enough.
So you're on the safe side, right?
And the what? Sorry.
You are on the safe side. I mean,
I hope so.
Okay, maybe a little bit grayish, but until the things are clear, I think you're fine.
Well, according to the Howey test, you can't give people something for nothing, because then you're a security. So as long as we don't give anything away for nothing, we should be safe. So if you do work for us, if you complete tasks for us, and we decide to reward you for spending your time to complete these tasks, it should be totally legal.
Nice idea. I like it. I definitely gonna use this idea.
Well, we will be releasing a tool after Mint for projects to use, to be able to give tasks and assign rewards for different tasks.
I was going to quickly go into that, actually, since you brought it up. I want to quickly ask about the NFTs. Are there any details on the release date or the supply or anything else that you can give us?
Right now, we don't have any details. The only thing that we know for certain is that it's not going to be yet another 10,000 collection, because we don't need a 10,000 collection. It will be kind of more on the smaller side. That could be anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000, say. The exact number is unknown. The mint date will kind of decide whenever we think we could mint successfully, because if we minted today, it would flop. So we'll just kind of play it by ear a bit.
Fair enough. That makes sense. And I've heard a little bit from a little birdie behind the scenes that you've got some things to give away to listeners here. Do you want to go into that?
I do. So we've got some whitelist spots available. We'll say the first 5 or 10 people that join the Discord and take a screenshot of the space and post it in the Discord, we'll give them whitelist.
Oh, you're all very lucky. I'm not going to get one, but you're all very lucky. So give some emotes in the chat for the opportunity to get a whitelist. Their art is crazy. So if you got anything else you want to say just before we move on?
I think that's pretty much it, and that's everything. That's us. That's Amorphous.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If anyone's got any questions, anyone want to come up at all before we move on to the last project? Because Hive has actually come back. So we are going to have Hive on. Any questions?
Thanks for joining, Amorphous. I wish you good luck with the project. So we'll be in touch. I just took a screenshot. I'll try to join the Discord while we speak right now.
Best of luck. Best of luck.
Very nice. Thank you very much for coming up. Make sure you give them some follows. So follow the Amorphos, and yeah, it's super early. Their artwork is really cool. So yeah, get in there while you can. And we have got our last. Oh wait, hang on. We've got a request. Give me 1 second. We do have someone who's requested to speak. Let's approve. BitLab Gamer. Are you there? Can you hear us? I think he's having connection issues. I don't think you paid Elon enough. No, I don't think he's coming up. Well, I think he's trying to come up, but I think he's having some issues. So I think we're going to move on before this spaces ends up exceeding more than 3 hours, which is more like a podcast. So let's go to hi, Robert. You still there?
Oh yeah, sorry about that, guys. I had to jump off and go to a different one. I came back. I was crossing my fingers that you guys were still here, and you guys were still here. So
yeah, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, for some reason Thursday today was so many different spaces, and I'm not really good at UTC time and all this other time converting it. So I kind of got lost for a minute, but I appreciate it, and thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Thanks for coming back, and we want to get you on and just have a little bit of a chat about you and your project. So as you can tell, we're all builders, so give us some background on yourself and your project and what you aim to accomplish.
Perfect. So by accident, I got into this space in the crypto space. I was or in the NFT space. I've been a data guy for the last 20 years, collecting data, selling data, learning people's habits online, and taking that and giving it to big companies to learn and learn about those habits and see how they can better their business. And then one day, my attorney said, "Hey, listen, for tax purposes, you should probably look into some art. Like just see what you like about art." And I said, "Okay, okay, I'll start googling." So I googled, and I came across OpenSea, and I thought NFT, the whole blockchain technology. We were actually trying to build something for our doctors through fax machines on the blockchain. So I thought it was cool that now images can go on the blockchain. So I looked into it and started realizing that this was something that is different. And then when learning about it, it was like I was getting pulled in different directions, right? Like obviously, most people, they start off as an ETH maxi in this space, and then when I try to venture off into different realms or blockchains, I was always getting the same kind of noise, right? Like so many new people in this space, it's either screw Ethereum or screw Solana or screw Polygon or screw different blockchains because of they're they want you to stay in this ecosystem, or they're one blockchain and minded people, and they're not okay to explore different avenues or learn more about Solana and what they have to offer, or Polygon and different blockchains as well. So I saw that as a kind of like a fork in the road when learning and trying to discover like what projects or what NFTs were cool. Right back then, it was just Bored Ape Yacht Club, and then Solana started picking up, and then other groups started picking up, and it was just back and forth. So I didn't get a real learning experience, and I think a lot of people lack that when they're getting in the space because they go in these spaces and people are just like so outlandishly outspoken. So people they tend to sway. So we said, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to do what we do in this space by collecting data and helping these individuals, these projects, gain and learn knowledge about the habits of these individuals that are interested in their projects, but they don't have the means to build the trust and brand awareness. And then how can we make this space when it's a newbie more non-scary for somebody to come in. It's not overbearing. So we started reading studies on what type of app that we should build that will keep users on there long term. So Tinder, Angry Birds, and then funny enough, we read a bunch of studies on mice that would swipe and food would drop. And then after a while, they didn't care about the food; they just care about the swiping motion. The same thing, women was with Angry Birds, and men, majority of men were with Tinder. So we said, okay, we're going to build a Tinder-like app that individuals can find and discover NFTs from different blockchains and marketplaces. They can swipe right if they like and left if they don't. So just like Tinder, let's say maybe 80% of the individuals listening right now have used Tinder or some sort of dating app with that swiping motion. Tinder was the first. So just like Tinder, what we did was we said, okay, we're not going to give anyone a chance or a choice to pick what blockchain they like, no categories, because all of us know that humans always revert back to what they are more comfortable with. So we took that aspect out, just like Tinder did. Tinder doesn't allow you to choose, like myself, dark hair woman, exotic looking, whatever. No, they give you everything, because one day I might swipe on a blonde, and who knows what's going to happen, right? So we took that same theory, and it's worked out pretty good. We launched last year in August. We wanted to go to market with just a test trial and see if we'd be accepted. And we had over 50,000 downloads on Android and 2.1 million views on YouTube. And we knew we were accepted, but it was just a little too much for us because we weren't expecting that. Because again, when we first came out, we built in Flutter. And we wanted to make sure that, before we went to market and we started putting all this money into it, that it was going to be somewhere that people felt comfortable with discovering and learning about NFTs. So then we stopped and we went back to the drawing board, and we took about a few thousand people, it was like 2,000 people, and we asked them to test our app and tell us what they liked the most about it and what they didn't like. So we started getting feedback, and we started changing a few things, the look and the feel of it. And then we went to phase 3. Phase 2 we completed, that was connecting to OpenSea and Magic Eden. And then phase 3, we continued with picking up a CTO and building our team a little bit bigger with our devs. So that's just the front end. So the front end is when individuals come in, they look at the app and they're learning about, or they're looking at the artwork first. If they like the artwork, they can see in real time the floor price, the volume, the owners, the listed, and so forth, all in real time that we pull over from the blockchain and from marketplaces, different information. If the person likes it, they can click the information button, and that information button is going to bring them to a profile. That profile is then still pulled from, again, the blockchain or the marketplace. It's a short bio, 500-character bio. That's the only time to the left of the name is when somebody's going to know what blockchain they're actually looking at. Underneath that is all the links provided by the company as well. That's, again, pulled over. And then the links can be clicked. We track everything. All links they can click the link and discover the Discord, or they can join the Twitter if they wanted. They can look at the follow. They can do anything from the app, right? Then if they swipe right or click the like button, it goes to their liked page. And a liked page is pretty cool, is because let's say you own multiple NFTs from different blockchains. And if you see, let's say, a Utes, or you see something, a Bored Ape Yacht Club, or whatever the case you might own, and you swipe right, it goes to your liked page. And then your liked page, when you open those, you can super like, which then pulls those projects to the top of your liked page, which then we have a lot of Degans. We get, messages all the time that, people, we stop them from going to OpenSea and Magic Eden in their wallets to see different floor prices, or different wallets that hold their NFTs, to see this information, because now it's there all at a glance, right? So that's the cool part about it, right? And then we have a news section and so forth to try to keep the news and keep everyone on board. We have, like I said, over 50,000 downloads, and we have about 4,000, a little over 4,000 active users daily using the app. And then on the project side, what we do with Web3 companies, marketplaces, wallets, and so forth, and NFT projects, what we do is every right swipe that somebody does, we have their data. We collect the data. So when a user comes in, they sign up using their email, their wallet, and their Twitter account. When they go to their profile, they get a one-time password going to their email, and that ensures that it's a real email or a real person. Once that happens and they start swiping right on projects, we take that information, and if a project, that's how we monetize our app, is by sponsoring projects. That just means that no one's going to see them more. No one's going to be pushed there. It's just that those companies are going to be seen more within the app, meaning that just like Tinder, if you swipe left, you don't see the person anymore. If you swipe right, it goes to the liked page. So when somebody swipes left, what happens is it will continue to go to maybe 2 or 3 times on a day to each user. So that's around 180 to 320,000 impressions a month for the project. And those projects can do sponsored depending on what tier they're on. The last tier, the most expensive tier, is collecting the data, which then that company can then contact that person on a more personal level by saying, hey, you swiped right in the Hive NFT app. We want to personally invite you to an AMA. We only have 100 spots. And what that's doing is it's personalizing and making that person feel some kind of way, because you are personalizing and only doing something special for those individuals. And that's building trust and brand awareness. It's currently what this market doesn't have right now. And then our algorithms, our algorithm is really, really cool, is that, you know, depending on, like, let's say me and you like certain projects and we keep swiping on the certain projects, those projects will then start showing to us more, because with the information we have, we know what they're more likely to mint and what they have minted, what they've spent. So we know that they might like these projects more like pixel art instead of music NFTs or so forth. We try to give everyone a clear shot on what's seen and so forth. So like I said, it's a two-double sword that we are, and we just continue to keep building and building, and that's where we're at. So and we just launched our loyalty program, which a lot of people here, they know, if they're project founders, they understand that the users are what really pushes and drives the community and your floor price and your project, right? If it wasn't for them talking about you and being there every day and supporting, like a lot of people in Discord, they're there every day, they don't get paid, but they're in the Discord daily because they believe in what you're doing. So we said, look, we want to, people that believe in us, we want to give back to their community. So we built a loyalty program attached to our app. So anytime somebody tweets, likes, comments, follows us, they earn loyalty points inside the app, which then they can go redeem at our store for free prizes, right? And with projects here, what we've done, especially with Unix's project, Dexter Labs, and a bunch of other groups, what they did was they'll give us NFTs that we put in the store, and then that allows us to attach you guys to our program. And the program allows, if anyone tweets about you, comments, follows, or likes you, they can also gain loyalty points in our store, which they can go redeem those cool prizes and those NFTs. And that just helps us go viral. And our market go-to strategy right now for our NFT project is we're TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Google. I mean, we're doing so much, and what that does for our project that we're launching, it puts more eyeballs on the app, which in turn puts more eyeballs on you guys. So it's a win-win situation. The more eyeballs we get, the more you guys get. And if anyone's a project founder, you guys can go ahead and let us know, and we'll put you on. It's free to be on. So we love to put you guys on there.
As a very detailed explanation, I really appreciate it. Thanks for the big rundown of that. I like the tactility of swiping right on NFT projects. But I think Obes might have something to say about your collection of email addresses. Actually, he's requesting. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring him back up here. Obes, my man. What do you think about the email collections? I don't think you like it.
Hey, sorry, I got a phone call. I had to answer it super quickly. But yeah, I just wanted to say I heard you're collecting email on an NFT-based app, and I think you could transition to let people just like sign in with their NFT pretty easily instead of collecting email.
No, yeah, so that's a good point. So what we did was, again, when we just started, we wanted to make sure that person, the information that we can get is that we can give to other projects as well, Web3 companies, so they can contact them. So we're doing the whole, they can soon they'll be able to sign in with their Twitter account, their wallet, and so forth. But at the first, in the beginning, in phase 1, where we first started, it was collecting the email to get a one-time passcode, right? And that passcode they would get, and they would have to put in the code to know that it was a real individual as well. That's where we started. So we're continuing to grow, and I mean, we are doing the whole Twitter and the whole wallet thing integration soon. We're also doing click to buy, and then we'll build the first affiliate network inside where the individuals, the community can actually earn real money by helping these other projects push their project forward and not just be a community member. So there's a lot of things that we're currently doing.
I'm really glad to hear it because I've spoken with a lot of the gaming, like NFT/crypto gaming companies, and they still collect email as well, and they haven't made that transition. So it sounds like you're a little bit ahead of the curve. So I'm impressed. That's good.
We appreciate that, and it only comes back from the feedback because we're builders, right? So we're constantly building and trying to make the product better before at all times, right? Taking feedback, but we're also, when we're building, there's a lot of things that we could miss that we always accept feedback, and there's a lot of big groups that we've talked to, like pretty huge groups that are interested in it. When we have meetings with them, they're always giving us different feedback, or like you just said, like what you could do. And there's things that we take mental notes of, or we're trying to, how can we get to that phase with other things that we're currently doing? Because there's things that are on the roadmap, but we have to get there first. And there's always things that we're adding cool features and so forth. So we're slowly getting there. And soon, within 6 months to a year, we want to be that group that says, how did you hear about us? Not OpenSea, not Magic Eden because you're on the sponsor or you're up on the thing or whatever, or not through people, influencers. I heard about you through Hive, right? So that's what we want to do, and that's what we're going to be, and we're aiming for that.
I love it.
Glad to hear it. I love to hear it. Sorry, Obes. I love to hear that too. It sounds like you guys should really connect. I think you guys would benefit from connecting with each other.
Yeah, I'll hit you up if you're looking to reach like a highly targeted audience within the NFT ecosystem. I think NFT logging could help. So I'll connect with you after this.
Perfect. Love to hear it.
So go ahead, Kindan. You got a question?
Hey, great energy. Actually, I had the questions, but not much anymore because you answered a lot of my questions. First of all, I'm wondering, do you guys have an NFT collection, or it's not based on NFT collection?
Can you repeat the question, please? You broke up.
So is the Hive NFT project, is it having an NFT collection behind or no?
So we're, first and foremost, we're a Web 2 company, right? That just got into the Web 3 experience, right? So we have our own money. We're self-funded up until this point right now. We put all the investors, we put all our own money in it. And when we want to grow more, we said, okay, do we go get a round like normal, like we've done before in the past, or do we go and ask the community, should we build a NFT collection? And it was overwhelmingly said, hey, look, you should do a collection. So we did do a collection, and it's been 3 months in the making. We're with Helios. We're having our pre-sale. We're launching in around June 8th to June 9th, a pre-sale 1 week before that. And we just had our 14-day reveal. So if you look at our Twitter account, you can start seeing like all the bees. We're an agnostic application, right? So we want to bring that energy to our launch. So we're dropping 5,555 bees, 555 on Solana, and 5,000 on Polygon. And the reason why we're doing that is we've actually teamed up with Polygon to become like the Polygon NFT finder. So we want to make sure that Solana's been there with us through the beginning, and then Polygon as well. So we wanted to kind of split that up, same day, same time, same hour for the launch. So we're looking forward to that. And just like another individual was talking before, we're doing the same thing like he was doing. That any holder, we're pretty high. Our mint price is going to be pretty high, and that's because anyone that actually mints is going to be. There's a pool that we're putting for monetizing our app. It monetizes how we make our money. We'll put a 10% in a pool, and individuals have to tweet. We talked to our lawyer. They have to do something in order to earn that money, but those individuals are entitled to that 10% depending on how many NFTs they own. If they're helping us tweet, if they're in the store, they're retweeting, they're going to get that money. And the cool thing about it is how do we keep them from listing and delist? That every quarter we'll do a snapshot of first quarter and the last quarter, right? And whoever has those will get reap the benefits of the percentages that's put aside from the monetization of the app. Well, if there's so many out there, we're going to delist it. We'll say, look, instead of 10%, we'll go 12%. Instead of 12%, we'll go 15%. Because we're self-funded. We put a little over 200,000 in it. We can continue to self-fund it. all the money that we're getting from the collection from our NFT drop is only going for user acquisition. And if a lot of people know about apps, people care about user acquisition. So we want to make sure that we do everything in our power to get as many users as we can using and learning about different NFTs from different blockchains. So we're spending the money to market you guys. You know, like that's a big deal that we're doing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I needed to process everything. Again, I had a question, but since you were speaking too fast, I kind of lost some.
Sorry,
Um,
go ahead.
no, it's okay. All right, so you're you having a collection. Yeah, I wanted to give you feedback on this. Since I was checking, do you have a collection? I couldn't find it. So this is a feedback for you guys. Since you're attending to different spaces, you're trying to spread the word about the app and probably upcoming mint. You need to put in the bio somewhere the tag or something that you have upcoming collection. I don't see, because the most usual place that if you're gonna check is it's in the bio of the application of the Twitter account, right? So if you have another account specifically, did you say it's called Helios or something like that? I think you should mention in the bio of this account over here.
So we don't. So no, this is our only. It's called Hive NFT. Helios is one our pre-sale. But if you I don't know if you scroll down, but I mean it's right. It's kind of like right there, the pinned, and a few seconds you can see the B itself. If you scroll down, you'll see that we just had a 14-day reveal, but that's good. We definitely should add. It's just that adding that, I want to make sure when somebody lands on Hive that they understand reading that short little description, that they understand exactly what Hive is. But I think that since we are going to drop soon, that maybe we do that. That's a good point. We put something in the bio.
Yeah, definitely put something in the bio, something like either on in the title. It's a great way to put a dash and they say minting soon or something, because that tells people, okay, these guys are upcoming mint, or it's not another project that is minted out. Because as you can see, you need to read a lot in order to find it, to scroll. I mean, not a lot, but I was on the website as well, try to find information. Phase 1, 2, 3. Drop a multi-chain FT collection. So you need to go down there. So it should be kind of more exposure, just a feedback from the user perspective side, how people will actually find, because you have on another side, you have tons of traffic, let's say. So basically you have 50K downloads. You said that you have 4,000 active users or visitors of the app per day, right? Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
4,000. That's a pretty solid number. On the Moonly, we have around 1,000 visitors per day, and it's not bad. But 4,000, it's even better. So you're doing good job. One of our early roadmap goals was actually to create a mobile app. We still gonna do this, but probably push some other priority features, because we have this progressive web app. You probably know what is it. So it kind of, giving away that you have, but it's, if you are on the web, in the Play Store, or let's say iPhone store, it give you more exposure, definitely, right? Because people are searching in the store, they're searching for NFTs or Solana, and then your app comes up and they become your members. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, that is actually one of our goals. I was totally aware of that, but you cannot do everything, definitely. So, but we're gonna be there as well sometime. And how do you engage your people to come back? Are you sending the kind of push notification and stuff?
No, so what we're doing, the cool thing about it is this is what we've seen, is that once somebody is actually on the app and uses it, they're there. And the way we're doing that is teaming up with different projects. Again, I told you, Polygon and Helios and other projects. If you look and scroll down and look, what we're doing is we're just teaming up with them and saying, hey, if you guys announce us, it's free anyways in the app, but we'll just make you a sponsored one, because again, we're giving everything away for free, and that means that they'll be seen 180,000 to 300 something thousand times a month. So we're giving everything away for free, and not just building more and more. And people, when they do giveaways, they add us. Or when we're on Spaces, they do giveaway. They add us, and we're like, hey, look, if you do a giveaway in the app, we'll put you on the app for free as a sponsor. People go and find you, swipe right, they automatically get listed in the whitelist. So there's cool things that we're doing that attracts people to getting on the app, and then once they're on, it's like they don't leave. It's like they keep using it. Maybe not every single day, right? But they use it. There's so many different people every single day that use it. Swipe right, check their messages, check. We get emails all the time, comments that people from Ethereum buy into Solana, and we think it's funny because they've never bought a Solana or even looked at Solana before, or didn't really know. They know it existed, but didn't really think about looking at the artwork. But when they're swiping, we don't tell them what they're looking at, and then all of a sudden they go to buy it, like, oh, this is a damn Solana project, and they start reading about it, and they're like, oh, that's cool, okay, and they're buying. So we just want to be a place where people can do that, discover and learn about NFTs without even knowing what the hell they're looking at. And I think that's a really cool concept that attracts different people, especially the Tinder for NFTs, the swiping motion. That's another thing that attracts the individuals as well.
Really great idea. While you speak, I'm kind of installing the app. I'm definitely gonna engage. So if you're not using push notification, you're probably aware that you're kind of missing some engagement
No,
out there
I do.
because
I do drip campaigns. So I'm a marketer, like, for the last 20 years, data with drip campaigns, like day 3, day 7, day 8, day 9. So we do that, and we're currently building our new platform on native. So we've been building it for the last 2 months. So once we're done with native, we'll have all the push notifications where individuals, like, giving away a whitelist or listed or whatever the case may be. We'll do all sorts of cool things to let people know what's on the platform. And I think Obis is asking, let's ask something.
Is that a drip campaign through app notifications?
No, it's actually through email.
I was gonna wonder, like, just from a perspective for me, like, if I'm trying to pitch to apps or whatnot to add NFT login, they obviously don't provide their email. So would there be any way for you to advertise to NFT holders without gathering their email address?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I mean, we collect their wallets, we collect their Twitter. I mean, soon we're going to, when we do the push notifications, they're just going to, it's going to be like a text, not an actual text, but it will be a message they get, a notification. So there's different ways from our dashboard.
may I ask? Oh, sorry, Abbas. Sorry, Abbas. Continue.
I was just gonna say it's reassuring to hear that. So thank you.
All right. So since you're here, you're builder, we're sharing information, experience. May I ask what is your open rate on the email? Because we, the Moonly, we didn't collect the emails, and we had over 700,000 visitors over the course of 1 year and a half, something like that. So a lot of people went through our application. And let's say if we converted 10%, it will be 70,000 subscribers. If it's 5%, it will still be a lot, 35,000 subscribers. So we missed a lot of emails, definitely, because I'm the growth hacker as well. I do stuff with newsletters, emails in Web 2, but definitely in this space I just work it with wallets and push notifications. So may I know, like, some either kind of round average numbers on the open rate?
Yeah, so it's around the same. It's always around 3 to 5%. What we do is that's each time we send one out. So, well, let's say we send out, I don't know, we send out probably 10,000 emails every 2 to 3 days, and they're all on a cycle. So if it's opened, they go through the second email. If it's not open, they'll get the same email again. So 3, 5, 7, 9 days, and that's one drip campaign. And once that campaign's completed, then they go into a different campaign, because we send newsletter, or we'll send a different, like, did you know, or have you learned about hacking, and we're just giving different things. We're not asking them to come back. We're just giving them cool things that they can read that they probably haven't learned yet about how to protect themselves, that we learned from somebody else, and they have a newsletter from somebody different. So that's a way to keep pushing them. And what happens is we have the app, like, click here, and if they click it, they already have it downloaded, and automatically opens the app anyways. So then they're like, okay, I'm at work. Let me look and let me explore, right? So there's people that use it every single day. We see the open rate, and there's people that use it, let's say, once every other day, and there's people that use it twice a week, or whatever the case may be. But we have a really good retention rate. I mean, it's amazing how many people actually use it once we get them to open the app. And then soon, when it's in native and it's a little bit more smoother, the swiping motion, I feel that it's going to even go higher, because we'll do like the swipe to match. Like, let's say you guys are Fox gives an NFT, they want to do a giveaway. So that means, depending on our algorithm, they say, look, we want to give 10 NFTs away. that means randomly 10 people that are swiping will automatically match. And a cool picture will come up and say it matched, and if they have their wallet in there, it will automatically push it to their wallet, kind of like our store does right now. So there's cool things that we're doing to intrigue and get those individuals to get on the app. But once they're really on the app, we have them.
That's awesome. I'm definitely interested to give 5 moonlies away and do some partnership out there and see how it's going. I'd like to test. I'm grow hacker in the heart. Unfortunately, with the Moonly, I didn't do a lot of grow hack. I needed to spend time with the team, with the with the decisions and all of these algorithms and logics out there. So, but I'm about to test this. I like that's why I'm asking about the numbers. For me, the numbers means a lot. So I had
But can I
something.
tell you one thing? I'll just tell you one thing real quick. That's just because, and I tell people all the time when we talk about numbers, is that the reason why we're different, right, is because one, we're a Web2 company and we're an application that's been on the app, iOS and Android. So we have a project that, we have an application that pulls different projects where people can discover and learn, right? It's not like an NFT where these people have to be in the Web3 space to know what Hive is. Like people that don't even care about NFTs or just learning or whatever, they see the app, they use it, they look at, oh, it's artwork, but then they find out reading more and learning more that it's something completely different. Not like let's say you guys have something basically just for people in the Web3 space that helps their communities or whatever, and like their Discord channels, whatever. That's why I believe that a lot of groups are different. Like from us, is because of what we have to offer. We're not a normal a group. If that makes sense. I'm trying to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're kind of converting a new people who are not even in the NFT space to the NFT space through, especially if you have some educational content on the website. On the note of the drip campaigns, I just remember since I was using a Mailchimp, but you're probably using other softwares out there. They're more kind of for drip campaigns suited, but Mailchimp a couple of years ago introduced their own kind of automation system, and I remember creating for one of the project at that time and call it Automatio. A very sick drip campaign, very complex, and at some point I needed to reach a support about some logic, and they said that they never saw anything complex like that on the Mailchimp, such automation drip campaign out there. So it's definitely a good thing to have if you're working with emails. And that's something consider about Moonly. Definitely, I'm thinking about a lot because there's a potential, and there's a people who want to leave. I know it's a contrary to what Obes did because he's more focusing on Web3 kind of logging system. But there's also people who want to subscribe, for example, to the newsletter through the traditional ways, through the emails. And I see actually I'm subscribed to some newsletter like NFT Evening and such. I mean, it's it's providing a value. Sometimes they summarize what's happened in the whole week or in the whole day, so it's a still good way to stay there. But definitely, it's about individual project.
I was just sitting back and listening to all of this. There's not much else I can really say. There's no questions I've got either, to be honest, because I think you guys have covered everything. But I will ask one thing, which is going to be quite short and sweet and to the point. Do you have any other alpha for us that you want to drop today? Anything that you can give us as listeners? And I promise we won't tell anyone.
No, just keep looking out for the new projects that we're teaming up with. There's a pretty big groups that we're teaming up with soon, and then just keep looking out for our project when we drop and do our pre-sale. And any projects here right now that, again, what we're doing is we're teaming up with you guys. We're giving you guys a link for our pre-sale, and anyone that buys from your community, we're giving back 20% to you guys, so you guys can continue use that money to continue to build or give it back to your community as well. So we're just giving back 20% to you guys as well. So
that's very generous of you. Thank you very much. You heard it here, guys. And yeah, thank you very much for such a detailed explanation of the Hive app and the NFTs and everything that's coming up with you guys. I know there's going to be a lot of things that are coming up, and I know that a lot of good things are coming for you. So thank you very much for coming up. I don't know if anyone's got any questions for you. Let's quickly wait and see if anyone's got any questions. It's time to raise your hand and see if I had a few people come up earlier before and ask questions or want to ask questions, but here is the time to come up and ask if you've got any questions or if you've got any final thoughts before we start closing the spaces down. Let's start with Stefan.
I had a lot of questions, but I think it's enough. Like 3 hour spaces. I feel kind of bad for people who is sitting there and listening us. But hopefully you got the value from this, not just towards respect that you kind of need to be in the spaces just because we are hosting it, but because you kind of got some interesting information or valuable for you. I had a fun. I always enjoy connecting with people who provide the value, who build something, or who want to learn, or who want to share something with others. So it was really nice space. Long. I know Kai, you don't you kind of don't like too much to be in the spaces if
No,
you're
not
talking
for
about
that long. It's quite a long
not
space.
yeah, but this is definitely a learning process because we kind of gonna have this weekly thing, so we might optimize to have kind of less builders in at the same time and spread because the span time for people is not that long. But definitely, I appreciate everyone who was there. I'm glad that I woke up. Actually, my wife woke me up, and I was dead tired, basically. But I came here. I'm so glad that connected with you guys. I'm gonna reach also Hive to see if we can do some potential collaboration. I want to give a couple of moonlights as a giveaway and to see how that's gonna work just as an experiment, tiny experiment. I like to do tiny, growth hacks and experiments or partnerships out there. So yeah, that's all from me. Maybe I can for wrap up, I remind people if you're building, if you're kind of launching your project, if you're needing the tools like staking or holder verification bot, something like Matica. Matica is a great tool, but we kind of build our own stuff over here because it's in our part of our ecosystem. We have a very a wide and long-term goal with the Moonly, so that's why we built our own system. I'm not saying it's better, but it's definitely gonna play a role with other packages and actually with other apps and tools that we build. So if you're need of staking, we can help you out there. We have no-code staking as a service. Even if you don't want to have a token, we can still use staking to reward your holders who actually stake it, who delist it from marketplace. You can reward them with raffles, give tickets to the guys who actually stake it. If you have any question or any kind of suggestion or requirements for your specific to suit your specific goals, also let me know. If you know that someone needs that launching project, feel free to reach them. We are going to launch affiliate program in the near future. So since that's not announced, officially, have in mind if you bring someone, you're going to get rewarded definitely out there. So yeah, that's what I want to. So that was a shameless plug, but I think that. That's worth it. I see one hand. I think we should let the bird see what gonna say. What do you think?
What up? What up? What up, guys? You guys can hear me
Hello.
good?
Yeah,
All right. So
we
now,
hear you,
just
man.
basically, yeah, cool. Now, yeah, just I didn't want the space to end without just sharing a little bit. I'll make it as quick as possible, maybe like 2 minutes. But just a quick background. I'm part of the teams at Bunnies. I've been in the Solana space for about a year and a half, maybe trading crypto like 3 years. As everyone, I got into NFTs and quickly got rugged. Started with Ethereum NFTs. It was an expensive lesson. Quickly moved to Solana and I was able to find some communities that I got again rugged with, and then met some genuine people in there. Which one of them is still really close with my brother in the stage. I mean, not the stage right here down here, VDS, and nothing. We learned a lot from that. Then I met another genuine community, which was with Jonuk, and then I just been stuck around with them and learning a lot. And not only just growing our profits, but also value in general as far as like education and everything else. So just wanted to share because I felt the need. Like, this space was very rarely like amazing from beginning to end. A lot of spaces are very long and I sometimes cannot stay throughout the whole thing, but I really genuinely enjoyed this one. I want to thank you guys for like listening, although it was long. And you guys did give a fair chance to everyone. A lot of spaces claim to do that, and they really don't do it when it comes down to it. But yeah, I don't want to like go all over the place. Just wanted to mention something else. All the tech and being early in Solana, it's amazing, and there's a lot of open opportunities for that. But I don't want to like fade or not mention the importance of a genuine community, because there's a lot of communities out there, but there's a lot of communities that are not genuine or not real. There's all types of people in the space. There's gonna be the paper hand that want a quick flip, that want profits. There's gonna be the people that are in there for the long term, that actually want to build genuine connections. I personally went to represent Bunny's NFT Miami, NFT NYC, just encouraging anyone to go in real life events, see people dead in the eye, and see what they're really about. Because anyone, unfortunately, could hide behind a PFP. You don't know their true intentions behind their projects. So I'm just trying to like push with our community some type of integrity, some type of education, which I found is the best way to fight all these scammers, all the drains, all the fake communities, all the fake founders. The best way to do this is just educating your communities. You don't want to teach them or give them the fish all the time. You want to teach them how to fish so they could always go ahead and be on their own and be safer. So I just wanted to bring that, like the importance of a community and a genuine community, especially. And last but not least, just wanted to mention some points that I wrote down that Yonuk actually mentioned. Our partner Yonuk and the team of bunnies, he mentioned earlier about success and failure. I feel like very often when you ask somebody, hey, what is the opposite of success? They say failure. And I feel like I learned the hard way, and I encourage anybody to listen to this alpha if you stay this long. If you are afraid of failing, you're never gonna succeed. So what you have to do, in my opinion, is you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and fail your way to success. So the more you fail and the faster you fail, the faster you're gonna succeed. Because all those failures are basically lessons for that succeed. I mean, that success to be like closer and closer to you. So with that being said, I just wanted to conclude that the opposite of success is not failure. The opposite of success is settling and not trying. So with that being said, just wanted to like, I don't know, take it as a sign. If you have anything that you haven't tried because you're scared or because you think you don't have time, let me tell you something. Fear is gonna go away every time you try more and more. And guess what? The time, no matter how long it takes, is gonna pass anyway. So lay that brick every day and watch you build that tall and solid wall. Love for everybody, positive vibes. My bad, I got a little emotional there. Like, yo, I really just wanted to share something and not take 10 minutes. So love you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Man, that was a really nice peak. I got goosebumps, to be honest, because I felt completely like you shared my mind. I failed a lot in my life, and that's actually what make me stronger and going forward, and where I gain experience. So the people who are kind of perfectionists, that's kind of stopping them to grow. I had also that kind of mentality in the various places, like being kind of perfectionist in some places, which basically stopped me from doing the things. And thank you for coming here at the end and giving this nice motivational speak. I just give you a follow. You're awesome, and hopefully we can connect outside the spaces. Thanks again, everyone. Kai, you can have ending words.
Yeah, I really appreciate that little speech from Birds. Thank you very much for that. Really kind words. And yeah, we are getting to the closing ends of the spaces. So does anyone else want to come up and say a few words about their project? Last few bits and pieces you can say. Anyone? Obes, you want to come up and say anything last?
Love what everyone's building. Haven't really been on the builders only spaces. It's great because I didn't know a lot of this stuff existed. So I mean, it's great to hear like Some of us are focusing on like Solana infrastructure. Some are focusing on bringing in Web 2. We're just kind of all over the place, and it's super cool that we're all here. And like everyone else has said, I love being early. So I'm excited to be here building with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bunnies, hands raised.
Yeah, thank you for having us tonight, and shout out to Birds. That was like he sounded like Sylvester Stallone, right? That's like his Rocky speech over there. But one thing that I gotta say is building over a project as a founder. If you can find someone like a specific partner, uh, like to share your thoughts, to brainstorm ideas, and to validate everything that you're doing within the project. Like myself, I got Birds to do that, right? So if you're having a hard time building your project because you're alone, um, like one advice that I would probably drop is find that specific person whom you can call whenever something pops up in your mind to validate everything. It helps a lot. It reduces the mental stress for yourself, and at the same time, someone when you're feeling down, someone would be there to to lift you up and push your your mental and emotional state forward while you are building. So yeah, again, thank you so much for having bunnies over for this amazing space, guys.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the words. Definitely agree. One, I for the end, one of the kind of struggles I had over the last 15, 18 years in the digital in the internet is actually finding people you can trust. And sometimes you actually need to risk. Of course, you should not trust everyone, especially for people who are very nice to you. I mean, sometimes I'm also pretty generous to some people that they thought I'm the hacker in the past. I had that kind of experience, but sometimes you need to risk actually. So, yeah, with the risk, there is reward. Definitely have that in mind. Once again, thanks everyone for joining up. Great space. We're gonna try to have these kinds of spaces, not maybe probably that long. Okay, I promise. I mean, it's not about me. I think you should blame Corsica. He managed a lot of stuff over here, so Corsica is about to be blamed over here. But again, it was pretty nice, and I'm glad that that we have a feedback from you guys that you enjoyed this. So Kai, wrap it up, and I'm gonna go and kiss my girls out there.
No worries, no worries. I'm just going to quickly say to wrap it up, thank you very much to every one of our guests that came up. I want to personally thank Neopups, Obes, Unizax, the Amorphos, Bunnies, Bird that came up. And also want to say a big thank you to Drax as well. I know he's not here. He had to leave. He's got things that he needs to do. Big shout out to our guests. Really appreciate you taking the time to explain yourselves and your projects to us and give us a little bit of background into you. And yeah, builders are going to build, and this is what happens when a bunch of builders get into one space at once. Thank you very much, and we will catch you next time. Take care, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace out. Thank you.